Hello, and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Dave, and I'll be your keeper of arcane lore for this session of Call of Cthulhu. Today we are continuing our playthrough of the Two-Headed Serpent, Hoist, and you can get your own copy of this book through chaosium.com. You can find all of the previous episodes over on the Chaosium YouTube channel, and if you're watching there and you do want to join us live, we are streaming each Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific. There's also is like a handy calendar thing on the Twitch channel where you can see like when stuff's coming, and that's pinned to 10 a.m. Australian. So that will always adjust as we move through the hectic and irritating time zone changes of daylight savings. A thank you to Roll20 and Sirenscape for being tools which we use to improve our games. And without further ado, let's return to the disaster at hand. So last session, the four of you continued your investigation of the Serpent person facility deep beneath one of the volcanoes on the peninsula of Iceland. You found an array of strange experiments and odd machinery. And this all came to a head when the party decided to split up, two traveling further north, deeper in the facility, Lieutenant Carter and Minnie St. Clair, while Dr. Sam and Hubert doubled back to check another direction. A gunfight erupted. Minnie almost fell in lava. Hubert was stabbed with a growth serum, and as he erupts 10 times his size, not really, just a fairly significant growth, and flies into a bout of madness, we will pick things back up. So, Art, would you like to introduce your investigator and kick us off?
Hi, I'm Art. I know you said Minnie fell in lava, but my head when I was like, Minnie fell in love is how I had that. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not what happened, except maybe it was. I don't remember. Hi, I'm Art. I'm playing Lieutenant Aries Carter. Pew pew machine is really all I've got at this point. I shoot things real good. I try and make sure my companions don't die. I don't know that I'm going to succeed super well this time around. So we'll find out. We'll find out.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Yes.
All right, yeah, that's perfect. And up next, Jackson.
Hey, I'm Jackson. I'm playing Dr. Samuel Taylor Thompson, who has excellent syringe handling skills and won't hear anything to the contrary. What else can you say?
That's all.
What else can you say?
Nothing more. I will ask, I guess, as Dr. Sam injects Hubert, it was supposed to be an intimidation display as well, if I remember correctly. You jam it in, you see him begin to swell in size and yell in fury. Is it just a few quiet steps back down the corridor?
Yep. It's just, well, that was a mistake, but we'll see how it plays out.
Always the optimist.
No need to judge early, right? It's all about the outcomes.
Terrific. All right, well, speaking of, I guess, massive people and the results of Dr. Sam's actions, Jim.
Absolutely. I am playing Hubert, the big man with a big heart, now the bigger man with the bigger heart.
Yes.
Which is probably a medical problem. No, yeah, I'm ready. I've just increased my bill. I've rolled the classic red mist bout of madness. Ready for a bit of fun. I think the last thing I do is as my suit splits open, I scream, Enrico! and then my mind goes away.
You're gonna need to go to his his franchise offshoot for the bigger and the taller. All right, and finally, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Wilhelmina St. Clair, and my foot hurts, like quite a lot actually. It's been a day, and it's gotten significantly worse in the last about 10 minutes.
It's not much more
This is my turn to be on fire.
Yeah. Don't go swimming in lava, kids.
Don't go swimming in lava. It's hot.
All right. So we're gonna pick back up. I will set the scene briefly, and also where am I flipping drums? Hell yeah! All right. So actually, why don't we go ahead across to the Roll20 view so we can update our lovely viewers on the state of things as they get worse. So, in this sort of northern branch, Minnie and Carter have charged around a corner to see a number of serpent persons hoarding Vormi. These are the short troll-like enslaved creatures. With several quick shots, the serpent persons were dispatched, but as Minnie went to cross the lake and head towards the large door on the other side, she slipped and fell in, dangling precariously near the lava, only just able to haul herself out as Carter laid down covering fire on the other side, just to find one of the Vormi raising up a rock in front of her with a no, it slammed it down towards, and the 6 of them, all small creatures and still wearing the sort of the collars around their neck, do look to be beginning to move into action, possibly taking this chance to secure their freedom. To the south, there were 4 serpent persons guards. These ones are a bit more heavily armored, and they're carrying like strange flame pistols that send gouts up the corridor. Hubert charged around to engage them. One of them is already dead, and 2 of them are fairly wounded. But as Dr. Sam tried to calm down the situation, de-escalate, he very much escalated Hubert's size and strength, plunging a syringe into him and swelling him to even large proportions. I think, Hubert, you are now build 3.
That's right, build 3.
Oh yeah, which is in the realm of sort of not quite moose, but you know, it's a big deer, I think. So very much larger. At the top of initiative, we have Carter and Hubert. I'll pass it to the 2 of you who wants to go first. But Hubert, you are in a bout of madness. We have elected to just go with Red Mist, and the last thing I need you to do is roll a single D10 to determine the duration. You can whisper this to me, or you can just go ahead and...
to you? Okay, sure thing, I will.
Carter, why don't you kick us off then, as Hubert just resolves his blood.
Figure out all that stuff.
Cool. So the most immediate, in my vision at least, is Minnie's situation, because I had ducked back behind the corridor, and that seems like a thing. So, how, like, I was gonna be like, how hefty do these roll? We're playing Pulp.
Yes.
I can do what I want to do, which is
do what you want.
take whichever one is about to hurl another rock at Minnie and shoot that fucking rock so it explodes, and be like, and essentially do the whole, that is a warning shot. The next time it's your head that's going to explode. Intimidate the shit out of these things and be like, back the fuck down.
I love that very, very much. So as you sort of like threw yourself around the corridor as a burst of flame went up, you snapped another clip into your pistol, cocked it back, and then as one of the Vormi goes up to drop it down on Minnie, I think you can just actually go ahead and give me a firearms, just straight roll. This is just going to see if you can basically you angle it and get the cool effect. Yeah, hell yeah. On that, can you please give me an intimidation roll? This is gonna be a straight check. But this is basically you've taken the shortcut past words and straight to actions.
Would you like a point to make that a hard, or will a success do?
I actually think I would like a point. There are 6 of them all gathered around, and as one of them hoists the rock, you fire it out of the air. And what do you do? What do you bellow? Do you just like gesture them to back up? What's it look like?
Because I have, like, for flair and flavor, because I have rapid shot, I would like to just pick off 3 of those rocks, just like make 3 of them, and then just like. So we're in a lava-filled cavern. I'm going to assume 2 things are true. 1, hot air rises, so there's a bit of an updraft. So my cloak is a little bit on the billowy side. We've got a little anime here.
Hell yes.
And the other one is that it's hot. And I think we've established that part of the blessing from Yig the Almighty is that Ares don't get hot. So Ares is implacably not sweating.
Literally no sweat.
With a pistol or with a handgun held out, not moving, dead staring these with an eye that is fully a snake eye, and just says, don't.
That rule's very hard. Is the don't in English? Do you have any? You might have the narcal enough to extend to that.
I don't have narcal, so this would probably be like, in this moment, Dave, does a little bit of Yig come through? Do I say something I don't entirely? Are we doing a full, like, the turf wizard speaks and doesn't realize that he in fact speak?
I'm very open to that. I'd ask you to make a probably a straight power roll. Because yes, I think this is absolutely the circumstance where that might come to the fore. Okay. With that, as you say don't, you feel in your heart a coldness surround it and a complete, like it is a lethal, surgical just an uncaring for these creatures. For a moment, you could not give a flying fuck if they step towards you. You will execute every last one of them, and then if they, you'll just kick them into lava and you'll walk straight away. You do not care, and that comes through. Now you can say this in Narcal, you can have that come through. With an extreme, you have enough control over this to stop it. You are aware that command will probably set off the collars that they wear. And it would absolutely take them out. What you've done with the hard intimidate roll is you've stalled them. There are 6 of these things. They do currently outnumber you, and this might be their best chance at freedom. So you are holding them at bay for the time being. If you do this, you will incapacitate them. But you are using the tool that does so. You
did just tell me that I could not give a flying fuck if they live or died.
That is, and then with the extreme, you can still feel yourself under there. It is up to you. It's very much Yig's direction. Protect your own, secure your own goals.
Yeah. This is war. You use what you need. You use what you've got, and you incapacitate as quickly as possible. That is the best way to win a war, is to incapacitate. Whatever that means. So yes, the command will go through, and I will use it to incapacitate all 6 of them immediately.
So, Minnie, as you pull yourself up onto the edge, sort of just dodging one of the blows of one of them, raining it down with a rock as another goes to lift it, Carter fires 3 shots, taking out stones in flight, and then hissing something in perfect Narcal that doesn't even sound like their own voice. It's like it came from way deeper in the pit of the stomach. Suddenly, all 6 of them freeze up as the little lights on the back of their collars flare, and they are incapacitated with shocks of electricity that send them crashing to the ground. The one that is right next to you jolts, drops to the ground, and rolls towards the lava, tumbling towards it and sliding off. It is not falling in just yet, but it absolutely will if it continues at this pace. Carter, you can begin to feel your consciousness returning. I imagine the slits of eyes reflecting in the darkness, and we now go across to Hubert. James, it's you.
Huge bit.
Hell yeah, fantastic.
Huge bit.
You are surrounded by 3 of them. They have these fire pistols drawn and leveled at you, but while engaged in close quarters, they're more relying on slashing at you and biting.
Hell yeah, I'll give it a dramatic beat for a moment. I reckon what happens after I get stabbed, I yell and grow a little bit. I'll hunch over and I stagger forward, holding at my face as it, bulges and my body ripples. And then the needle that's stuck in me will fall out and tumble to the ground. And I'll slowly kind of drag down my hands, revealing red bloodshot eyes.
Hell yes.
And leap into action. I will go and I will strike out against the one that is below me, that is closest towards the entrance door.
Okay.
And I will swing a massive punch. And Dave, you can't take this from me, because even if I miss, I will punch the concrete and I want dust to go everywhere. And I go,
James,
so even if I miss,
so cool.
I have fun.
I will say the one directly to yourself is the one on full health as well. So you've elected to take one out in one mighty blow.
I'm going to go for it. I picked that one on that they were the most... they were based in the best position for my head cannon of the direction of the blow, and I had no more strategies than that.
Okay, that's a success.
I need none. Ha ha ha.
It's going to riposte. And in terror, as you rain down towards it, this thing raises a futile arm. And go ahead and roll your damage, and make sure you apply your fancy new damage bonus,
which is 2d6 now.
Oh my
right.
god. I believe so.
Yep. Now, I did say last time that I broke apart my walking stick.
Oh, yes, you did too.
Which is I think appropriately my treasured possession as well, because it's quite cool.
Is it?
Yeah. I can still have my broken walking stick can now be my treasured possession, but I will treat it as if I'm still functionally holding my weapon, because I don't want to massively nerf myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my new 2d6 damage bonus means I will hit this thing for
It's
a
2d6. Holy shit.
I'm going to double check, but I believe
It is.
the
I just
case.
checked it.
Yeah, for a whopping 14 damage.
James,
Big punch.
that kills it in one hit. This one's full health. They are more heavily armored than your average one. It swipes out towards you, and then what's your just bloodlusted, muscle-bound fighting style now? What's it look like as you take this thing out?
I think I whack into this thing and jam the walking stick into it, then grab the body and just slam it against the wall again and again and again and again.
Some puffs of blood and dirt clouding the air as the other two take a almost unaware of it, take a step back. Yeah, that one is dead as hell.
It's good. It's good when you get the insane power in Cthulhu. I mean, obviously, it's all going to come terribly apart when I have to deal with the hideous ramifications. This is the fun part.
Okay.
Wait, what was your insight? Don't you get a mad insight?
Yeah. Let's do, I don't know the pop book.
Something to do with brawl.
Go ahead and roll a d20 quickly. Let me see how fast I can open a PDF.
1.
Speed roll.
I think you may not have rolled 1d20.
Oh,
yes.
James! Insane strength.
So I will say I did mess it up.
You gain a bonus dice on strength rolls as you basically overextend yourself.
I will say I did mess it up. Art is right. I didn't roll. I actually got a 20 when I rolled. I just rolled 1. So what's 20? I guess I'll take that.
That is insane skill augmentation. One of your skills gets a bonus basically for the. I think that might be indefinite. Anyway, I think basically you gain some key insight. We'll go with the strength one because it's the first one I didn't know what to do with it. So basically, and I think that very much suits the bloodlusted, hugely empowered. And at this point, you still don't know the limits of your new strength. Like you might think you are Herculean to the point of no more limits.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will soon find that they do exist.
Well, I think we should take the 1 because I reckon if I get indefinite bonus to brawl checks, I think I'm pretty unstoppable.
Hell yeah. Okay, we go across to Minnie, who is just now standing back up on this still very precarious bridge, to be clear. And one of the Vormi, the one that tried to slam down Rocky, was twitched and rolling towards lava. The others are all incapacitated. And you see Carter. Carter's normally fairly terrifying. That is being amplified at the moment as they stare down 6 of these troll-like creatures.
Okay. How big are these things?
They're pretty small. They are... they're -1 build, so they're about, they're squat and quite stout. They'd be like 4 foot tall or so. Long arms.
We're here on a mission, but I'm aware that they are enslaved and vulnerable and scared. I'm probably going to try and drag this one back from the edge.
Okay.
But I would also like to use this opportunity to kind of dodge and weave and sprint across the bridge.
To get to the other side? Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and give me a strength roll just to try and catch this as you get there.
All right. Never mind.
Okay, you are on the outside, but this is just your full action. So you have to stop down, grab it. You can feel your boots of scrabbling on the side, and then you haul it back across. So you are there, but you can do no more as you secure it. And you are on the other side. You made it across, and you drag this one up so it is now sort of planted on the edge. What is your intent from here? There is the large door before you. You can see one of those handprint scanners that should open it. There is also old and dusty Narcal, and you're proficient enough to be able to interpret it says something like leadership, command, control, something like that.
Yeah. Like I want in this door. I don't think I can open it.
Actually, I can give you that with the thing. You slam a hand towards it and it will not react.
Yeah, because that could have been part of it, easily. I don't think I can open it. So I think what I'll do is I'll yell back to the others, primarily Carter. Give me a hand, but also pointing at one of the lizard snake people. Yes. Like, one of their hands. Give me a hand.
That rules. Okay. All right, so Minnie yells back to request access through servants?
Literally a hand.
And we go, so now it is the Vormy's turn. They are incapacitated as hell, but one does not die, so that's nice. And we go to Dr. Sam.
Good. Has this development earned me enough of a distraction that I can just scooch on by?
I would
Surely
say, yeah.
they're going to be more concerned about Hubert now.
James has a point of order.
Point of
Has
order?
it also earned him a sanity check?
Yeah, this is kind
yeah.
of seeing, what have these hands done? Yeah, go ahead and give me a sanity roll, please.
I can't be mad at you, James. That's a good point.
He
can't
doesn't
be
give
mad.
a fuck.
You
I
can't be
can-
mad at James, but you can be mad.
You correctly assume that it'll be fine.
I can fix this later.
No point. I think this, at the end of the day, you inject it with something weird, something weird happens. I think as Hubert just like swings around, gathers two of them on one huge forearm and holds them aloft, prepared to deliver another blow, you can skirt past and you can easily make it up towards Carter and the other creatures now on the ground. As you come around the corner, Carter, what would he see? Does he still see you in the state of bloodlust or yigness?
He would see. I mean, he would see my back because I am walking, kind of striding towards that door that Minnie is at now. That's where I am intending to go. So I think it is. I don't think there's much to read except that Carter seems absolutely like not phased about the fact that there are a bunch of incapacitated creatures. But that's like not unusual for Carter.
No.
Is this the first time Carter's walked through like a swathe of bodies on the ground? Probably not.
Hell yeah. You mean Jackson?
The movie version would absolutely include a flashback to a scene from a war. I feel like.
Hell yeah.
So just business as usual, it sounds like.
More of the same.
Good. Is that my whole turn getting there? Or
Skirting
I
around
guess
stuff. Any light actions? Any sort of like, summer activities?
I can't really get to Minnie, can I? That's
No,
not
she's
happening.
across the very precarious looking lava bridge.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
That is more of an autumn
chestnut.
activity as well. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Does Carter need any first aid that I can provide, or they're probably busy at the moment?
Also, probably
They're busy.
not with the remainder of your turn. It'd be any sort of like you could yell out to them, say, Hubert's got it.
I'll just say, Hubert's. Look at Hubert, but he's good. He's good for now. Clear out the way. I'll try to get to Minnie when I can.
And so as you walk along, it gives them like a pat on the back, and the three of you all head down this corridor, no longer with Hubert in sight. We go across to the Serpent person's turn, where Jim, you've sort of like slammed one into the wall, and it's just like putty caked around your fingers as you smush further forward, and skin and fat and everything rolls past it. The other two leap at your back and slicing down one after the other. They're going to make 2 attacks at you. Would you like to riposte or dodge?
Oh, riposte.
Hell yeah. All right, go ahead and make your first attack.
I will luck that one.
You're lucking it?
Oh, you have bonuses?
Don't you
I
have
am already
bonuses on that
below
shit?
the threshold for 30 save my life. So at this point, I'm trying to... It's always a factor where you go the minimization of harm here, and I feel that this is a good defense. So I will give you 11 points of luck.
Before you do, we will say you did roll strength and then also sort of roll skill. What we can do is apply that. Do you want to take a bonus dice to brawl through just for the duration of this madness?
Happy to go however you'd like.
And I think also your new size, I think you are drawing more strength from this. So yeah, I think go ahead and take a bonus dice on this.
All right. That'll bring it to a success.
Okay, so that's
which
a
I will
success.
leave.
All right, and this one's going to give you a little bit of a stab. He-ya. Okay.
Ooh, hard success.
One of them
though.
launches up and drags its claws into the back. You can reduce that by 1 for your armor. Although I do think thematically the coat's like torn and ripped a bit too, so it's just catching the padding as it clambers down. And then the second one, as you wheel around to reveal it clambered onto your side, is going to try and bite at your shoulder. Would you like to riposte or dodge?
I will try and riposte.
All right, you will take a penalty on this one, so down to a straight roll.
Which will come in at a success.
Okay, not bad. Oh shit.
Oh, the extreme coming
That's
in.
not good. Make a Constitution roll, please.
Absolutely.
Bite.
I have the bonus die on Constitution checks, extreme, and yeah. So
Okay, all right. You are going to halve this. I did roll maximum on it though, so you are going to take 4 damage. You cannot reduce this as poison floods your system, and suddenly one of your knees buckles down, and you almost go down to it. How are you looking? Still okay?
I'm still okay. An important question, Dave. When I increased my size and strength, did I increase my health maximum and therefore gain health, or do I increase
You got
it
new
from a hollow
meats.
perspective?
There's more meat. You can take more
Okay,
bullets.
sounds
Makes
great.
sense.
All right, so in which case, the increase in size, bumps my hit points up to, bumps my hit points up by 4 points. So I gain 4 hit points, bringing me to 20 out of 42. Then I take 2 damage for the first attack.
Yep.
Bringing me down to 18. Then the second attack was 4 damage unreduced.
Unreduced,
Okay,
that's right.
so I'm down to 14 out of 42 hit points.
You are a big boy, as has been stated before. The man is large, and nothing more can or will be said about it. We leave that there. Actually, it's your turn. I'll leave you. It's still you. We go right back to you. So one slash across your back. The other one has bit on and connected, and you can see its like throat flaring as it pushes more venom up and into your system. What would you like to do, James?
I'd like to get that one. Let's give a fighting brawl against it, please.
Okay. I also think based on your madness rolls, you actually only rolled a single round. So as we go back to you and as you see Sam disappear around the corner and go to join the others, you are yourself again and kind of aware of the situation as you reach down to grab the creature off. Your hands are like huge and actually fill the inside of your suit now, whereas previously there was room to twist.
I think I am not mad, but I'm pretty mad. I still keep mindlessly yelling and I attack this one.
We love that.
I'll give you 5 points of luck to bring that to a success on a fighting brawl.
To clarify, which one is this? Is this the chomper or the slicer?
Chomper, the one that is actively trying to put poison into me.
Okay, it is going to, I actually think it's going to attempt to dodge as it sort of winds around, scrambles onto you and tries to hold and continue to just inject this bile into your bloodstream.
Makes sense to me.
And that's a fumble.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
That will be 9 points of damage.
Done. You take this one out. What's it look like?
God, so this one's attached onto me. I think I grab it and I fling it, and it hits the ceiling once, then lands and stops moving.
I guess
Is it one of those like you grab its tail and you like flick it like a whip and it cracks its spine like they do with like just fully just kill a snake?
That's pretty great.
Holy
Let's go
shit.
with that. I've got one super gory kill left in the tank. We'll leave for the end because hey, we're in the moment.
Yeah.
Hell
But
yes.
yeah, that sounds
Also,
good.
as you rip it off, it's not enough time for it. It refuses to retract its fangs. So as it does, no doubt, it pulls a chunk of your like skin and bone
Hell
away as
yeah.
well as you slam it into the roof and then crack it down to the ground, breaking its spine and striking another one of these charming creatures. We go now across to Lieutenant Carter. So there is the magma crossing. There's the bridge between you and Minnie on the other side.
Okay. Can I walk across it?
You can make a dexterity roll.
Okay.
While you're making this roll, I just want to say one last thing quickly. I'm so sorry. It just occurred to me, based on something that I just read in chat, I don't think I can fly in those machines anymore. I think I might be too
What
big
is
to
your
fit in one.
size, James?
110.
Unknown.
You can by
That was the
yourself
maximum.
still. It was you are still all right, but it is very close. That is
There's no way I'm getting in Dr. Sam's machine now.
Probably not. And
That's a
the
really good
UFOs, you've got to figure out how to fly yourself. No one else can fly you.
Which is so if we have to do like escape mode, I might be Quasimodo trapped in the volcano.
You
here.
do have a little bit. I just double checked it. It was size 120, but you were going to fill the inside of this thing, like hands up on the top and rocketing along.
That's so cool.
Hell yeah. Sorry, Carter.
I did not succeed my dexterity.
Okay.
I didn't fumble. I just didn't succeed.
So
Is this a like I have to take my time, or I can't actually.
No,
get
this
across?
is you slip on the way across. This is all during combat. There's things thrashing around on the ground. You don't know when they're coming back. On the other side, that door could open at any point, and you moving across quickly. Where the first Formy fell and Minnie went in. Some of the rocks are loose. This whole bridge is kind of temporary. The foot lands on somewhere unstable, and you slip. You will not go in, but you catch yourself on the side, just holding yourself above the lava, where Minnie fumbled and actually began to feel the effect. You are just scrambling on the edge of it, trying to pull yourself back up. Unfortunately, that is going to be your turn as we go across to it's Minnie. What would you like to
Nobody
do?
gave me a hand.
I'm coming over.
No, I mean, I could have cut off a hand and yeeted it at me, and nobody.
I mean,
gave
that's
me
fair.
a
There's
hand.
also like they're all the way down the end of the other. Also, as far as I'm concerned, what you're asking for is for me to open the door.
No, I was pointing at one of the lizard things.
No,
with
I
my
know,
hand.
but in my brain, because
Yes.
I can open doors, like I've had
Yeah.
no problem with it. I'm like, oh, I'll just come over and like open the door. Just like
I'll be
I don't
right
think it's
there.
registered for Carter that like they can
hand.
that it's weird that they
Yeah.
can do that. You're just like, oh, you just need me to come over and like help you open this.
I will hold. See if like is Carter on my side of the bridge or kind
Carter
of
is
in the middle?
Carter is in the center of it. Yeah, you can try and get to them and haul them up. It will be a strength roll.
Alternatively, come over and stick a hand down and give me like a bonus for when I
Yeah,
myself
I'm
up.
gonna
I'm
do
fine
that,
with that as
yeah.
well. If you just want to sort of be in a
I'm going to
position
do that
help.
because my strength rolls are not good, have not been good, and I have no reason to believe they will be good.
Okay. As you head across to try and help Lieutenant Carter, what are the two of your size scores?
50.
Also 50.
Okay, as you head onto it, Sam, you coming around the corner, you can see this bridge is not real stable. You are not large enough that you threaten its collapse, but it's close. So as you head over and lean down to give Carter
okay.
a hand, this thing is also like, it's large enough that you are like fully suspended down. You're trying to bring yourself back up. It is not super easy peasy, but you will have a bonus dice on an attempt to pull yourself back up to safety. From here, we go across to the Vormi are incapacitated. I believe we're back down the bottom with Dr. Sam.
Oh, great. Well, I think we've just hit the low limit on the bridge, is what it sounds like. In what sense the Vormi incapacitated again, sorry?
They are being collared.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. How long is that going to last?
You are not necessarily sure.
That's what I was
You could
afraid
stop it.
you'd say.
You could inspect it. You could make a roll to study. It seems to no longer be shocking them.
There's nothing else going on. I think that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll even try to get through to one of them. Who knows?
I love the definition of nothing else going on. As Hubert, you can hear battle crying and slamming something in the wall. Minnie's like, I got you, Carter, and hauling them up out of the lava. And Sam squats down in front of it, gets a pencil out, and lifts up a leg.
I got 5 minutes.
What do you want to roll a medicine roll for me, or it could be a hard psychology, or
Let's take a look. See what have I got.
Any of the science skills, maybe?
I may have tuned out again. What's shocking them? Who did
The
that?
collars.
That
The
was
collar
Kai.
that's working is it's no longer
Oh yeah, but
firing.
what caused the collar to start shocking them?
You
Do
are.
know?
It is unclear.
What? That's what I thought.
Previously, I'm not sure
you
if you were
don't
there the
know.
last time they fired as well. You guys would have shared that information. I mean, you believe the serpent persons can activate them. It's used as a control measure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, now's the time, right? To come in here and be friendly and see if we can get these collars off. So, I guess I'd like to have an attempt at studying the collars and seeing how to get them off safely.
Is the plan to
I think
attempt
I
to
might have done this
remove
before.
one?
That's okay.
I'll
Sure,
remind you,
why
you
not?
saw Carter try to remove one by jamming a knife into it, and they were very badly shocked. I think to the point of almost
That's what I was thinking
incapacitated.
of.
So maybe with a
Yeah.
little dexterity
So,
and like,
I almost died.
So I'm gonna do it by not jamming a knife in.
oh, okay.
I'll
You
use
can
a
jam something
scalpel.
else in.
Yeah, my finger. So this is electrical repair?
This
you
will
would
absolutely
say?
be electrical repair.
Yeah, no, fair enough. The attempt was made. It's something I'll come back to.
Yeah, so because you're using electrical repair, you're not forcing the matter, so you will not get shocked to hell. But looking at it, it's a fairly intricate device. It also looks as though it's like basically sealed around the corner. There's no clear gaps. Removing the power supply would be difficult. And also because as it is no longer shocking them, they are like, you can hear like that like humming like throb from their throats as they are waking, but very much injured. And as one of the eyes blinks open, I got like two sets and a milky white, and look up at you. Its long arm puts on the ground and tries to pull itself away. They are coming back into consciousness, but very injured and fairly, subdued. And they're also
I've got another
terrified of
idea, but I've just failed the roll, so it might be a next turn thing.
Okay. All right, then we will go to my last friend, who's going to try and eat James. So the final one, looking at
James?
yeah, sorry. Open the door, Jamie. You can hear the knocking. It's a serpent.
Did you lock your
person.
doors?
I don't
Hide
have
your
like
children.
a snake soft
Hide
toy
your
or something. Otherwise, I'd get it.
So this final one, after you've soundly dispatched its two allies, is going to go back for that strange device, the like fire thing, and in close quarters, for going, aware of the potential risk to itself, it is going to attempt to fire that at you. You can riposte or dodge.
I will attempt to riposte.
Go ahead and keep your bonus dice too.
I will luck that down.
Bonus dice, bonus dice, bonus dice.
Oh, bonus dice, sorry. You immediately said it. I will still luck it down, but it's going to be less.
Okay, so 4 points. As it holds the thing up and letting out a hiss that is not narcal, but just serpentine fury. It squeezes the trigger and boom.
Ooh,
Gout.
close.
There's a gout of flame, but you are able to just like shoulder the thing to the side. And James, you teased a final devastating.
Yeah, well, let's see how the damage goes. Make sure I get that. That is 15 damage.
It could have had
swings
full,
up the
it could
weapon
have had
with
full
one
health.
hand.
It had 2.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I passed you.
Well, we got to go for a dramatic conclusion. Swings out the weapon, catch its arm, hold it. It tries to swipe at me with its claw. I catch the other arm. I will lift it up as best I can, and then I will pull both its arms off.
Hell yes. There is a spray of black blood that coats it, and when it drops down to the floor, you are holding in one hand a curled and slightly twitching claw, and in the other, a claw holding that strange gun, if you'd like to keep it.
I
pistol.
think at this stage, I'm pretty beyond thinking. I reckon I hold the arms, I look at them, and then I probably drop them and start cradling my own head and yelling.
Okay. All right. Have a little bit of a panic. From here, with those dispatched, you're technically not really in combat anymore, but I will urge you to maintain haste. Another tremble goes through the entire facility, and Carter, where they're just trying to scramble up, is shaken, sort of rocks falling down around you for a moment before attempting to haul yourself up. Let's resolve that. Carter, could you give me a climb roll with a bonus dice, please? Okay.
20 under 15.
Minnie is just
So
able
hard
to
success.
let you get the boot up on the other side, and tentatively you edge along and then are hauled up onto the others, where the collapsed Vormi are sort of squirming on the ground and pulling themselves away from the two of you. Sam is on the other side, just stepping up from the Vormi that you are studying, and you hear from down the corridor the battle cry of Hubert as he rips the last one in twain, and then the sort of like choked sob of what's happening. This sucks. What would the four of you like to do?
Open the door.
Yes, I'll just walk up and be like, is there something wrong? I'm going to put a hand on the pad and see what happens.
Okay. You put a hand to the head, and it reads it, and then the door slides open. With Carter and...
Which door is this? Is on the other side of the
This is on the
lava
other
bridge?
side, that's right.
Sam, what's going on with Hubert? With Mr. Smith?
It was a bit of an accident.
Oh God, is he okay?
Yeah, probably. Does he need help?
Do we need to go back?
Do you know what? I think We could probably give him a little bit of space right now, and then we'll see,
okay.
see how he is.
I don't think this is a time to leave people behind, Sam. Either
no,
you get
we should keep
Hubert and
getting.
take him round the other way. We believe that this cavern...
Let's just
Oh, no, this says
get the
control
other-
room. This says
let's just
control
get-
room. I don't know if it goes around.
get on the other side of the door for a second. I'd be inclined to bundle us to the other side of the door and then peek
well,
around the corner to see what comes around the corner and ready to slam the door shut.
From
Just in
the way
case.
that Hubert's coming, okay?
Yeah.
I will flag then,
Yes,
that,
so-
that room that's open is not remotely empty. So, as you're
no.
talking and as you
I bet
pull
it's not.
across, Sam, you are separated on the other side by the lava bridge. Carter raised a hand and pushes in and it slides open, and immediately the two of you, there's a wave of relatively cool air. The whole place is like, powered by
Nice.
thermal activity, so it's quite warm and sweaty. But this room is tepid and relatively cool. There are a bank of those screens that you've seen both in North Borneo now, Mini, and also in the landing zone that surround the exterior. And then there's like little, they're not quite, keyboards or anything, but jutting out of the wall, there's interactive dials and nodes and zwigglers and, knobs and buttons and things. And there are 6 serpent persons moving around the interior. They are not wearing armor or carrying weapons, and all of them have jammed into the back of their necks, like the spine, a cable that then runs from there up to the roof where they're connected in a bundle, and then they plunge down to the ground, where you can see there is a large, almost like a New York, what's it called, like a sewer cover, sewer grate, like right in the center.
Like
But
a manhole cover, yeah.
yeah, manhole cover. But it's like, chrome and space age. They go straight down the center there, and these creatures do not seem to immediately react to you, but continue to move dials and things. These screens are all alive with activity. As numbers flash across them, symbols flash, you can see diagrams, images, a number of strange things presented, as well as, on one of them on the far side, a larger screen than all the others, on which is displayed the same woman you saw earlier in the landing zone, sort of mid-30s, chalk bob, clearly in somewhere with a canvas background flapping behind her, and in perfect narcal, directing those before her. What I want to know is, do you immediately go like click and close the door once more, or what's
Not
happening
closing
from
the
here?
door, but I think Minnie just kind of exchanges a quick look with Carter and cocks a pistol. It's like, well, I guess.
Yeah.
So anyway, we started blasting.
I have 2 targets that aren't snake people.
Ooh.
The cables
So-
and yeah.
I will
Cables
say
on the
this whole
screen.
scene
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not from Al's perspective, I think, character-wise, but maybe that bit too. But this is a dark thing to find. It's like this is some kind of horror game, Dave.
What the fuck?
Weird biological computer. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
So,
Yes,
Plugged
this
in
is
for
the-
something.
Carter and Minnie are both stepping forward towards the room and, I guess, raising guns and preparing to blast. You're stopping the door. You're not just letting the door close again. Sam, what are you doing? And Hubert, what are you doing?
You want to go first, Sam?
At first, Sam's thinking about having another go at looking at these shock collars, but he's also looking over his shoulder just in case a giant green monster comes around the corner. So maybe I wouldn't mind hearing about what Hubert's up to.
Yeah.
You know what? I will reappear if I start to hear the sounds of like panicked yells from my companions, I think. But I think Hubert's having a bit of a moment. I think he probably looks at himself, checked over, and I think he runs. He's going to go down this corridor and go stomping away, kind of sobbing to himself while he tries to come to terms with exactly what's going on. He's pretty confused. I think I probably run back into the rooms with the spars.
Okay. Hubert retreats. Sam, you are aware that Hubert is going back the way he went. And I also don't.
Right.
I don't know. Do you see him as a patient under your care? Do you see him as something to be avoided? What's your reaction? You are the only one on this side of the lava bridge.
Thinking to myself, I've got a responsibility to help. And at the same time, we're in a very dangerous situation. and it's not the best idea to go traipsing after him.
If I can throw out a little something, I reckon there's some chaos happening right in front of you. I think Hubert just needs a round or so, and then will reappear.
Just a center.
Yeah, just a time to get it all
Great.
together.
Okay.
All right. Well, in that case, do I see Minnie and Carter are like storming the next room?
They've opened the door
yeah.
and leveled guns at whatever came within.
right.
Your attention is lightly diverted by the flowing lava river in front of you and the precarious bridge that spans it.
What are the Vormi doing? They're still just like crawling around the ground. not
Yeah,
feeling
they're
super hot.
fairly heavily incapacitated, but beginning to come back to their senses as they avoid the three of you with terror.
All right. In that case, I'll try one thing. There must be some kind of goop in my medicine bag that I would use to treat burns. And if it's not already, I'd like to try to modify it so that it becomes an insulator to protect against electric shocks.
Okay.
And so if I can get like a finger and just jam it in here, I'm hoping it might help him feel a bit better and also stop the shocks or at least reduce them. So it just like turns it into a bit of a tickle. That's my medical gambit over here.
It's a good idea if you could get
Thank
them
you.
to sit still. Unfortunately, they are abjectly terrified of the three of you, and as soon as you go to try and they will flinch, move away, throw up hands to defend
Well, that's
themselves,
what-
and the others will react to it. They definitely don't want you coming anywhere near them, and you'll basically have to
So I was hoping there was
hold
still-
one down and.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a good idea. But I was hoping to be like they're still dazed enough that I could get one, like the most dazed one.
Yeah, you can make an attempt at it. What we're going to do this is kind of treat this as pushing your electrical repair roll.
Oh heck yeah!
Because this is you getting some, goopy substance and jamming your finger, again, kind of into the mechanism. And
It's true.
And feeling the inside. So with the penalties that carries, this is going to, you are tampering with alien technology.
I was hoping to turn it into a medicine roll.
Oh, you can,
I'm not sure
I
if
tell you
I've
what,
done that. Have I done that?
medicine's a little bit of a hard, this is functional, it's the technology that is the problem, I think.
Very good. That's true. Yeah. No. All right. Should I do it?
You want to get electrocuted? Because you're gonna.
Little bit.
Then you should do it.
Yeah, we got this. Don't worry.
Yeah, we don't need our doctor for someone who's recently been in lava and someone who's recently been, I don't know, probably shot and also.
Now
You know,
that
I've
sounds
lost
like
I've lost track of Aries' injuries at this point.
Oh, so have
Right?
I, quite frankly. I think I got maybe set on. No, I think I dodged the fire.
Oh, you dodged
You
the
dodged
fire.
the fire.
I've definitely been like.
You got shot.
Definitely been shot. I've definitely been like slashed at.
Yeah, pretty sure you got
There's a
bitten.
possibility there was some fire in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure maybe
Sam's
got bit.
scrubbing in.
You know, a professional stunt person would be a great Call of Cthulhu character because
Oh
you
my
can
God,
justify
yes.
all these crazy injuries.
And
Yes.
it's doing the dumbest thing in any given situation.
all
So I
right.
push
I
this
don't think I
down?
should. I don't think I should stick my fingers in there. I'm going
In the electrical
to
socket.
get a little goop of the burn salve.
Yep.
And then just like hand it to one of them. Like I'm not
Yeah, I wonder
gonna,
if
I'm not
someone
gonna
you know
like
needs that.
jump on them. I'm just gonna like just a little bit, just be like.
I love
hey,
that Sam is more
there you go.
interested in aliens who have recently tried to kill us than two people who he knows quite well who are clearly injured and about to get into a fight.
That's why I'm handing it off to them, going, "Hey, stick that in there," and then I'm gonna go off and follow Minnie and Carter because they're about to get shot. But at the same time, like, let's be clear, we found out back in the hangar room that Sam is no business in the front lines of a fight. He's not. He's just going to get in the way. So that's what I'm thinking. So yes, please, I'll be right behind you.
Can you give me a, I would say, charm or animal handling, something to try and, yeah, I can take persuade. It's going to be hard with a penalty dice, given that you
heck
do
yeah.
not speak any language that you do not share any language with them, and they were recently
they
attacked
don't-
by your comrades.
They don't have narcal.
Oh, you can speak. Do you want to speak in Narcal?
I got 10 narcal.
Yeah,
so I
you can
got
do
a
various
little
supports. I'll tell you what.
something.
I will move this to a straight roll with a penalty dice.
Yep.
But you can use the rudimentary Narcal that you possess.
All right.
Aware that previously Narcal has been what set off the Okay.
Not a fumble.
All right. You try a couple of words. They see you as a humanoid figure speaking in the tongue of their oppressors, and one of them takes a swing at you, and the other two dogpile on as well. As they try and wrestle the first one away. They think you're another serpent person.
Down for the count.
They are incapacitated and very badly wounded, but they are still going to try and harass you. Are you? They're weak and they are not particularly dangerous, but they hate you and are trying to stop you from being near them. Can you go ahead and give me a riposte or dodge roll?
Dodge 35. What's my roll? 25. So dodge is better.
I'm going to be applying a penalty.
I don't want to hurt him. I'm just like...
I understand that. They very much do not. Do you want to just hold your hands up and not resist?
And no, I'll dodge.
Okay.
But I'm not I'm not going to hurt him.
This is going to take a penalty dice, so I'll just roll it twice.
That's all right.
As a failure. So one of them tries to help. They swing a thing across at you, and you get the sense that there's been attempts, but in the current circumstances, it's going to be very difficult without some grand gesture or, a mass deactivation or opening a door and showing them the way out or something. I don't know what they don't want you near them. They don't want you jamming a finger in their, collars. They're terrified and willing to fight for it.
I think Dr. Scan's feeling a bit scatterbrained right now. He's having all these ideas of what to do and not doing a very good job of anything.
Not bad ideas. They're just, ideas for another time, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's just too scattered. Be like, oh, I've done this terrible thing to Hubert.
And you're trying it, yeah.
Who is the nearest person I can help? I think that's what's going on.
As a couple take a swing at you and then retreat away, on the other side of the bridge, and it's a little bit hard to make it out, there's a heat shimmer from the wave and everything, Carter and Minnie level guns at the occupants of the room. The figure on the screen on the other side will spot you, and as she sees you come in and lower guns at all the occupants, the head sort of cocks for a moment, and there is a beat as they take your measure. What do the two of you do?
So anyway, I started blasting.
Okay. What do you want to shoot?
Wait, Minnie, what are you shooting?
I'm just going to try and shoot the snake people because they are the ones who are going to harm.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make a firearms test. You have a bonus dice.
Where's my combat tab? Thank you, combat tab. Boop. Good. Glad I have a bonus dice. Yeah, that's a success.
Nice. You walk in, and what is Minnie's state of mind? Is this panicked gunshots reacting to seeing hostiles, or is this taking a beat and leveling it at the closest one? What do we say?
This is just the closest one. A quick look with Carter, cock the weapon, calmly fire. We're on a timer. This is a control room. This is where we need to be. Let's just get in, do the job, and get out. Before the volcano explodes, and I don't want to be in lava again.
You fire at one of them, and as the shot slams into it, it's enough to sort of send it rolling for a moment. It's not enough to kill it, but you see it sort of its neck spasm, and as it looks around, the point in the back of its neck bubbles for a moment, and its mouth opens. You hear a hiss, and across the screen there's of numbers wobble for a moment and change, and for a moment you can see a ripple that goes through all the serpentine text, this winding snake-like font, and it has a shape, almost a 3D pattern imposed into the two-dimensional slate of a large prone figure that goes all the way around the screens, and then as the thing takes it back, it goes back in, and it's just sort of text and the occasional shifting image once more. But if you really squint, almost like an what are they called, eye puzzles or whatever,
magic
where you unfocus, like a magic eye, you can still kind of see it, but it's lost for a moment.
They're connected to something bigger.
Carter, what is your immediate action?
Well, I'm gonna take 3 shots.
Mm-hmm.
The first shot is the first 2 will go into the bundle of cables.
Okay.
Because I want to see what the reaction is, if any, from the person on the screen. And then I'll let you know where the third shot goes after that, if that's all right.
Sure. Make a firearms test with a bonus dice. Actually, this give me a straight roll. I think this is just no. Take the bonus. Take the bonus. Just limited effect. A gun is not the best tool for removing electronics.
That's fair. Actually,
It's still going into
how
it.
big
Like it'll fuck with it.
Are they? Is it like a massive cables, or is it like? Because I'm.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, that's not going to be super helpful. In that case, I will
you did just see me shoot one and see that did have an effect on the screens.
Yeah, that's true. In that case, I will just shoot at. Yeah, I'll shoot at another two of them. Possibly like the same one that got shot before, and then another one.
Go for it. You can do your test one at a time if you like.
Perfect. So we'll do this one.
Kills it.
That is. That would be in 100, but it isn't because it's 60, so that's good. That's a success. That's 11 points of damage to the one that's already been injured. I think.
It will die.
Yeah. Does anything happen on the screens?
It will. I'm going to get you to resolve, and then I'll narrate
Cool.
the result. This is all pretty quick.
Cool. Second shot. That's a critical success.
Okay.
It's
Also
a 0-1.
dies to hell.
Oh my
and
god.
then the last shot. What just I know you're going to narrate this
I'm with
in
you.
detail. The vibe of what's happening on the canvas screen. The person.
I'm with
What's
you.
their thing?
So,
Because my final shot, I assume I won't necessarily need to roll. I'm going to shoot that screen.
I get you. It might not necessarily instantly destroy it, but you can definitely fire into it, and it will sure as hell ruin the resale value. You execute the one that Minnie had fired at, and as it drops down, the cable does not have enough slack to get it to the ground, so it like hits. It goes forward and then like swings across towards the center, held aloft by its own spine before connecting into the central thing, and then just like lolling on the ground as you fire across at another one, which drops again. As each of these happens, it's like seeing black corruption spread through the code as it swallows sections of it into darkness, and now there's these black like roaming spots moving through it, almost organic as they spread like some viral disease moving through it. And once again, you can see a huge pulse as a massive, now clearer figure of a huge prone figure encompasses all of the screens, including kind of the one that the woman is projected over. It like superimposes over her, or her own figure contorts for a moment as if to show the limb where it moves across as the screens react to display the information. With two of them dead, you can see this is not it's humanoid, but not human. The arms are much too long. They're curled over in a sort of a fetal position. And you can see there's something imposed over all of it. There's a secondary image, like a visual sense to it, but it's hard to see immediately. Do either of you try and focus on the screens in this instance? Or I know you're looking at the...
I probably will.
Okay, Minnie, can you give me a...
Because I've been reading a lot and looking at this map and yeah.
I'm actually just going to have a quick hum through your character sheet to see what's the most appropriate. I've got one in mind, but I don't want to say it because it might play my hand a little bit. And yeah, you don't have the skill. I think this might just be spot hidden.
Okay.
Yeah. And Carter, can you give me a psychology roll?
No.
No, I can't, but I will try.
Go ahead and make the roll, just see what you can... Okay.
Team stressed. We're too stressed for this.
Minnie, you have a look over it, and there's something rolling in this pattern, and then it's not fading as fast as last time. The figure's still kind of there. It's completely unmoving, although the text begins to move around. It's beginning to kind of refine its shape, but you can't find anything recognizable. It just seems to be a prone figure, and it's alien, strange.
If I really, really want to see what this is, what would be the penalties of a push here?
Yeah. Penalties of a push might be, I guess, stepping over towards it and trying to interact with the display itself, stowing your pistol and leaving yourself potentially vulnerable to some other attack or...
Perfect.
Okay, go ahead and push that roll.
Sounds great. Yeah,
that's
fine.
exactly
That's exactly what I needed.
Success. Okay. There's something in it, and again, this is still spot hidden. This isn't necessarily using the most natural skill for it, so you're kind of just like looking for clues, for insights in it. As you step over towards it and begin to study across the screen, you actually step up to where one of the creatures was killed, and as you reach out a hand across the display keyboard, you can see a splattering of blood where it was shot, and then this interacts similarly to how you use the transport spheres, the globes, so you can sort of feel it adjacent to your consciousness, but much more distant and reset. You get the impression that they interface with it using the cables that are plunged into their spine.
And I have used one of these before in North Borneo.
This one seems to be different. It's similar in the same core, but it has been retrofitted, or you don't know if it's increased control or because they possibly couldn't interface with it, but they now seem to be using principally these large cables to interact with it. It is also kind of like just a much grander scale, this one. It's huge and seems to be capable of incredible processing power. Carter, you fire off one shot into one, execute another. Minnie catches something in the sort of bubbling text that moves across the screen and steps up, and then you level the gun towards the screen on the other side. The head remains cocked towards you, and even on a fail, you don't get anything more, but you cannot miss the sense of disgust and just sheer... It's not fury, it's like seeing something disgusting crawl out of the shower drain, and now you're in there with it. And it sort of crawls across her face for a moment, and then she swallows. You see the rise of bile, and for a moment you can just catch something in the incisors, and then she will open her mouth to speak. However, if you want, you can just go bang.
I will also, seeing that expression, actually, yeah, I will. Let's go bang. Let's see what we got.
Damn.
What would that be? 7 points for success. Is that right?
Yeah.
Success will. This will probably not fully. Again, it's a bullet into a. It's not necessarily.
Does this count as us being in combat, or can I push this? I'm assuming
really?
It's
you can
combat.
probably push this.
I mean, I'll push it if I can. The implication here would be gun jams, everything goes to shit.
That's right. I think.
All right.
Loss of firearm. You'll retain the bonus dice. Okay. Success to begin with.
Oh, nice.
46 over, so I could give you a hard, which would be 5 points.
You won't be able to spend luck, unfortunately, on the push roll. So that does give you the success without spending luck. But basically, as you step forward, you just fire out a number of shots, and as they crack into the screen, it's like heavy obsidian glass or something. It's enough to break it and send distortions through it as her image cracks, reflects, and suddenly there's like a dozen of them. And then, almost as if unfocusing or wearing 3D goggles, her image splits into two that begin to twist and move across the screens, surrounding the outside and peering inward, still static wherever she actually is recording. But moving throughout this facility as you hear from tinny, shitty speakers underneath desks or something, a crackling voice, and then more of Salathan's brood, mindlessly toiling towards their own demise. Tell me, vermin, are you still your own, or are you already slaves to Father's commands? At this point, Minnie, you're looking at the thing. Her image sort of flutters around it, but you're kind of in the zone at the moment. You're focused. You've disfocused, and you're seeing the thing that's behind it. This figure's not moving. It's completely prone, and there's a number of lines running up from it to something superimposed above it. It is representing something that, as you're beginning to see scale-wise, is immense. You think you can see something that appears to be like a mile marker or something. And
the superimposed image is the mountain, isn't it?
And with that thought,
you believe it's in the mountain. This thing is under us in the mountain.
This thing it is not just under the mountain. If your calculations are correct, this thing is underneath a good chunk of the entire peninsula. It is this huge curled over fetal vormi, but immense. This thing would be measured in miles. And if it ever twisted, which as you now see, there is a tiny like shift, and you see a from that the text and everything flutters along and reflects on the surface where a tremor thunders through, and the head and spine curled just underneath the volcano itself for a moment moves, and you can see a line running up from it, which you now believe to be plugging into the drilling rigs you've seen earlier.
Yeah.
And as it goes up, you see it on the screen, it twists and flutters, and then a short moment later, there's a huge like shake in the facility. Dust falls, the cables twist and move, and the whole thing seems to be threatening to collapse.
Don't like this. Don't like this at all. They're using this thing to power something, and I do not like this at all. I think disconnect it, let it sleep. Disconnect it, let it sleep. Disconnect it, let it sleep.
I'm going to ask you to make a sanity roll.
That is fair. That is entirely fair.
This. And as you do that, I'm going to we'll have you roll that first. Success. I don't think that's a point. I think you haven't seen it, President. It's all just numbers. This might be just how they represent volcanoes.
I think I'm kind of putting it together, but in kind of an analytical, I'd rather not get blown up in a volcano, so let's deal with this later sort of way.
It's very what's the island of giants? Is it Gulliver's Travels?
Oh yeah.
Kind of like very kind
up.
of this is a weird kind of I can conceptualize this in a fairy tale kind of way.
This is
for
Minnie
now.
the Nerd going
Weird
back
that
to
it's
books she's read and being like,
It's an
this shouldn't
allegory.
exist, but it's not the weirdest thing I've
metaphor.
seen. It's not the worst thing I've seen, so it's fine.
There's not that many tentacles yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all a matter of time.
Exactly.
I'm going to park the two of you there for a moment. Dr. Sam, what are you doing? Are you going to try and
My best.
cross this barrier and join the others?
Oh, yeah. If it sounds like there's not active fighting going on anymore, I got to have a look at afoot, I believe.
Cautiously, you take one step after the other to begin to make your way. I am going to get you to make a dexterity roll with a bonus dice, because while there is not people shooting at you, there is shooting happening, and, ominous whispers, and you see a body swing past. That's enough. You'll be able to
good.
You get to the other side, a couple quick steps, and you're down, and you can join the others. And now, Hubert, what do you do? So you turn and head towards the spa treatment facility.
Look, first of all, I just want to say, David, that it is absolutely typical of you to introduce a larger character than me as soon as I get bigger, right? You had Canning, now I get bigger than you. Oh, size of a volcano. All right.
Adjusting notes. Big line through the book.
I flee. I run into the spa room, and I think I just take a second to catch my breath. I dart, I reckon, behind one of the spas, almost as if I'm going to hide. But I'm too big, really, and there's not much space. I think I'm looking down into the bubbling waters, whatever it is. I debate for a minute whether I should jump in to try and fix this, but I know that's not how it works. I glance up and I catch a reflection of myself distorted in some of the warped chrome, and it's all monstrous, and I hyperventilate for a second and slowly start to catch my breath. I've been through this I kind of thing before. I've been hurt, and I know that what I'm doing is right. I've been given a lot of good things in my life, and it's so that I can do well. And I'll shift my face a little bit so that my reflection goes from the warped bit into being normal and human. There you go. Some symbolism for you. I will steady my breathing, pop up my collar on my jacket, do up what's left of it, and then I will stroll back out and rejoin the others, although not cross the bridge as soon as I am able.
Hell yes. That was great. So when we ended last time, the sanity roll for triggering the transformation, even on a success, will deal 1 point. So we just went ahead and assumed that would happen. We didn't actually make the roll, so we don't know how much sanity you've lost. Can you make a sanity roll now at this point? And we will see just how shaken Hubert is. I think now as you study the reflection and see what you have become.
Sure. Is this going to re-trigger a bout?
No. This is representing how bad the previous one was, really. Okay.
Success.
It is only going to be 1 point.
Excellent. Nice. That still will break me below the precious 40. So I'm down into the 30s now.
Let's go. The spiral begins.
The
spiral's on. Okay. Elsewhere, Dr. Sam, as you cross the bridge and join the others, you just hear the end of the, whispered question from the figure that's encircling the other two. The other serpents completely do not react to the death of their peers, and they continue to interface with the commands and controls. And what would the three of you like to do?
If there's no immediate threat to life, I would like to have a look at Minnie's foot and treat it.
I mean, there are threats to life.
There are
There's
threats to
people
life.
staring at us and
Oh.
things in the room,
Sorry, that's
so
clear,
I'm going to
but
continue shooting things.
Oh,
for
I
sure.
thought it sounded like
Yes, I'm
I thought it
gonna-
sounded like they
I
were
wanna
just
take
vibing. Are they not just like hanging out with their
just-
VR?
They are
Kinda
they're
just-
trying to wake the thing that is inside the volcano. Well, not trying to
Oh,
wake
I
it. Well, they're
misunderstood.
doing some shit with it that is.
They're drilling into
That
it
is
and
waking it
they're getting the nanites out of it.
They're getting the nanites
They're
out of this
getting
thing.
they're getting
using
god
them,
juice.
They're
and
farming
it's fucking with
grobblers.
the volcano.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not
But they're
sure.
not actually
Like,
attacking us. Is my point.
no, but like, does
Oh,
setting off a
indirectly.
volcano mean kind of? Yeah, we're gonna die because they're
Alright.
setting off a volcano.
But is this like a seconds disaster or? Oh,
It's- I mean,
alright.
you're
Well,
currently- you
in
can-
that case, I'll do
It's
what I'm told.
twitching
We might
because
have
they're
knocked
too
it
close
out.
to it.
It's up to you. So as you come in, you can see that, I mean, 2 of these things have been executed, and Carter levels a gun at the remaining ones, having fired 1 bullet into the screen that's now broken and shattered, and now sending the figure on it looping around, the same one you saw in the landing zone. It's sort of swarming around you now, questioning and probing a little bit as Minnie interfaces with one of the devices in front of her. You can crouch down in front of Minnie and try and take a look at the foot and do some first aid, while
Yeah.
also, like, underneath the desk, you will see, like, more, like, smaller, they'd be like, you know, the screens they might use to interface with, like, just, like, running checks on things, and that face is running along those as well. You're also right next to the speaker, so you are still in the scene, and you can respond and things, but you are working on first aid as priority, unless you want to try and interface with the scenes yourself, try and understand more about the cabling, whatever
I'd be
you'd like to.
inclined to go for some first aid while I've got the time.
I think as well, I'm going to keep focusing on the screens and the information on it, and potentially the woman. But I am also going to shout over my shoulder to Carter, "Kill the rest of them. I don't like the look of this."
Do you communicate the drilling stuff at all?
Yeah.
Then
Basically,
my response
these are connected
would
to
be
everything.
stop the drilling.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, stop it, and then I will. I'll look to this woman on the screen, this person on the screen, and go. I get the sense you don't like us very much.
She swings around and she says, "Are you slaves or your own?"
We've got to kill these things.
Well, is a merchant a slave to a buyer?
In the end, all will be slaves. All I need to know is, do you make your own decisions? Is this your foolishness or another's? Does Salathan command you?
Ooh, name drop. Good.
Who the fuck is that?
Good to have. All right.
What difference would it make one way or the other?
Nothing. Already you've killed 2 of mine that were worth all of you.
Oh,
Debatable.
Worry not. Your brood will be cared for. You disgusting, unpitiable creatures. Your mistaken uprising is at an end, and you'll find no peace from your distant, invisible gods. Be swallowed by rock and fire. Let the hot breath of Sathogwa take you, and his stomach full the almighty rise again of Mu. The 4 remaining ones suddenly snap back
killed
their
them.
necks, the mouths open, and in one voice, all of them chant, only slightly broken by the fact that there is definitely a delay between them and their overseer. Hail the inner night! Glory to the 3rd Serpent Empire! Fall prone and devour your kin! And the remaining ones reach back to the cables and go to wrench. Carter, you have time to act.
great. I will say, Yig sends their regards, and I'm going to shoot 3 more of them.
Make a firearms roll. And I tell you what, you can try and just go for, there are 4 remaining. You can try and go for all of them. You like empty the clip, snap at another one, and just unleash. It'll be a penalty functionally. You're trying to do. It's kind of all or nothing.
Okay. I am in point blank with all of them. Yes, so it would just be straight rolls.
This is not really. This is more going for like taking out them before the cabling and things apply. This is gonna be a straight roll. So this will go
Straight
to a penalty.
Okay. Sorry. So I'm rolling with a penalty, but I will hit all 4 of them if I succeed.
That's right.
Okay. I'll go that. Am I just rolling once handgun?
One roll.
That would be a hard. That would still be a success.
All right. You're quick. As I pass it to you, is this just kind of disregarding as you can see where things are going? You go, monologue and snap in another clip and just start blasting? Or is this like let the whole thing go and then just outdraw them as they start screaming?
I think it's not quite like, it is a little bit like, monologue time, but there's a little bit of that indifference still there. So as she's like monologuing, that look of just like placid kind of eyebrow raised. Oh, you're doing this now, are you? Okay, well, give me a hot sec to just reload and cock the hammer back. And then as they all start talking and like reach up, it is just enough. A 1, 2, 3, 4 heads go. But I do think like as I say, Yig sends their regards, there's a little part of my brain that's going, hey, you heard that voice, buddy? Because I think that's the one you wanted me to get rid of. So I'd really like a little bit of help right now. And again, the eye will change as I sort of like let that presence come up a little bit again, feel that coldness, that disregard, that same, and there's like a look of the similar, it's not quite like disgust, but it is true disdain for this creature on the screen to be like, you think you know so much. You think that you have this all sorted out. You believe us to be one thing, but you are in fact wrong. You are nothing. And I will execute the things most important to you because you are nothing. And they mean nothing.
The name of Sothogwa also will prompt some like a reaction deep in your not even brain, in the subconscious that exists behind it.
That's the one that I recognized. Yeah. Because that's the one that we'd had the conversation. Like that was the name I was given, I believe. That
was also the thing that in the vision when you first were approached by Yig was what he was swallowing.
Yeah.
We've got a few critical words, I think, in that blast.
Oh yeah.
With 4 quick shots, you summarily execute all 4 of them. The first one doesn't even get the hand up. It just begins to twitch and you know it's doing something. The second, clears the torso. The third almost grips the coil. It's only the 4th that actually managed to lay a hand on the cabling behind it. But as it goes to wrench, the final shot just catches it. Each one swiftly executing, plunge through the head as they throw their skulls back in ecstasy and chanting praise. All 4 of them collapse down to the ground, wrenching the cables and then swinging in towards the center, and the screens you're interfacing with, Minnie, go dark.
It's like a deranged merry-go-round.
So I get nothing else from them?
Not for the moment. There is no clear way to interact with them, and clearly these things are powering them in some way. As soon as this happens, there's a huge tremble that goes through the ground. It begins, and where previously been able to wait them out, this one continues and starts to grow as the entire facility starts to shake. Hubert, where you are, you sort of, realizing things are happening, begin to put a bit of a hustle, and as this happens, Sam, do you want to go ahead and give us a first aid roll, I think it was, for treating Minnie?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm a little worried that those guys were stopping the disaster.
I suspect that what had happened is they'd started something that was irreversible, that was essentially irreversible, and we could have let them keep doing their things, but eventually this would have, Yay, thank you.
Sam, that's a D4. Nice.
Yay, thank you.
And as you step up, Hubert, you can get to the point where the bridge is in front of you. You genuinely do not know if it will support your weight. You can attempt to get across it, or you can try and jump.
I probably just yell to the others. This new escalation of the disaster seems serious. I will yell, I think the place is coming down.
Get to the hangar.
Yeah, get to the hangar. I don't want to go back across that bridge. I think we
No, but I think we can go up and around. I think we can go through the drilling.
Hubert, as you can't see it, but Carter, you listened in on the same conversation. Based on the description that was given to you by Gonsalves of the thing that Hubert was seeking, that trapdoor, the manhole, looks to be where you would expect to find what he was after. It meant it tracked being underneath the control thing, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Minnie, you have a bad idea. I was going to give it to you. You're fairly intelligent and well read. They were interfacing it using the cables.
Yeah.
If you want to try and interface it, instinct would be it's time to spine jam.
I have seen what this thing is. I have seen that it is under the whole peninsula, and I'm pretty sure it's waking up.
If you want to have any chance to control it or study it further, you would need a way to interface with it. Additionally, from previous studies of Serpent person technology, power of will and self-control is just as important as anything else. So it would be basically you wrestling with whatever's on the other side. It is also hugely risky, so it's up to you.
That is what I was going to do. I think I've got to turn to Dr. Sam and Carter and just be like, this thing is huge. It is under the whole peninsula. So many people are going to die. It's not just the volcano. It's everything. And I'm going to make a lunge for the cables and just be like, I'm sorry, I have to, and jam it into my neck.
Fuck yes. Sam, this is just as you finish treating the wound, you step up and see Minnie look at you and then make a lunge for one of the cables. You have to basically curb stomp one of the bodies off the cable to wrestle it out. And unfortunately, as it comes out, you can see just how long the needle is. And it's like wet and sorry, it's limp at the farthest point as it has gone down the spine a ways, and then tendrils have plunged out of it. I think
I'll probably look at Sam and just be like, if you don't do this for me, hundreds of thousands of people are going to die. A nation. Please.
I reckon you've done the background reading and you know what you're doing. So here we go.
I think at this point, and I'll hold up, pull down a sleeve so you can see all the scars. In for a penny, in for a pound, let's go. And I'm going to try and wrench the manhole cover off to see if I can find where this thing is so that I can and I will essentially go Minnie, you have
I have seconds.
You have 90 seconds. Yeah. And then I'm pulling this power out and we're getting you out of here. You have no time at all. Let's go.
Yeah.
The whole place shakes constantly, another tremble going through, and you actually hear a crack as stonework shears on the other side. Carter, you slide across the ground, wrench up your sleeves and reach down, and almost there's claws on the very edge of your hands. You snap them out, wrench down, and the manhole cover has no clear grooves, but you find them and then begin to heave, muscles bulging. I'm gonna need a strength roll or a mechanical repair or something, but I think you're going for strength to wrench this off. Sam, are you helping Minnie?
Yeah.
I would like the doctor helping me with this. Thank you very much. I'm going to help
jam this giant needle in the spine.
Okay, and lastly, Hubert, what are you doing?
Oh, God damn it. I can
you can
hear
the
their
others on the other
voices from up
side
ahead.
working. You also generally, you are big enough. You kind of look at the thing. It's going to be a straight dex roll. You kind of get to say, if you just get momentum and charge, you might be able to clear it before it collapses behind you.
Oh, my God.
You also don't know if this is the only way out.
Screw it. Let's go for it.
Make a dexterity roll, please, Jim.
I'm going to laugh so hard.
We won't be leaving.
I don't have enough luck. That's a fail.
You leap on it, one foot after the other, charge across, and as you get to the other side, what we are going to do is say that the bridge behind you cracks, rocks fall into lava, and then as another huge wave goes across through the facility, it twists, shears, and splashes down. A bubble of magma swells, and then you see, almost in retort, the river surge and begin to race along as lava now completely encompasses the facility and begins to spill out from there into the rest of the facility proper. Didn't mention it previously. There is another exit from this room. You can see going further north. You don't know where that goes. Presumably connects to the drilling rigs. That's kind of the direction where that goes.
That's kind of what we've been assuming. Yeah.
So there might be another way.
We're hoping that we can get back to the
hang on.
The balls, if we can manage it, that's the plan.
Dave, do you want me to take a few points of damage as maybe as there's a splash of lava and droplets come across me or something?
Thematically, but not mechanical. I think it
Cool.
like sears into, your code is further damage, but no, it's mostly the scratch thing. You just got sheer momentum at this point
Gotcha.
and broke behind you. Fumble or something would have risked this further.
Yep.
Carter, can you give me a strength roll as Minnie? Sorry, we'll do this.
That's okay.
Heaving.
I will. I'll try and heave, and then if I see Hubert jump across, I'll say, "Mr. Smith, I need your
yeah.
prodigious size."
And this is the first time we've seen him,
Hubert
by the way.
fully, like, as Hubert
Is there
gets
a moment?
to the doors, like, one of the shoulders bumps into one of them.
the
Hubert, can you actually
fuck?
describe what we see fully in the, like, I think this is the most well-lit portion of the facility. Like, we see all of it in its glory.
If I may as well, I think it's really cool because the two of the Doctor and Minnie just jacked in effectively.
Not yet.
We're
They're
about
about
to.
to, but yes.
Oh,
And I'm aware that this is probably Sam's doing.
Oh, right.
about to
I was
jam
gonna
a
say
needle into my
narratively
neck.
it could have been cool if the two of you already had, because Carter, you said that before you'd rolled up your sleeves
Yep.
to show your
Scales,
transformation, and I could have burst in. We could have shared a look, being like, I haven't seen that,
Seen
and
that.
neither of us
I haven't
mentioned
seen
it,
that.
and we just
Yep.
keep going. You know,
I
like
think
it's like a
absolutely just like if it's cool with the other two, if you're
Yeah.
like focused on that and in the process of doing that as Hubert, I will just look and the response to that will be, Mr. Smith, I need your prodigious size.
excellent, and
Yep.
I'll run over. But for the description, for the narrative purposes, I actually think that really, I didn't lose a massive amount to my appearance or anything like that. Obviously, I'm bigger, but I think that I think Hubert just genuinely looks taller and larger. In some eyes, it might be like a good thing, although he is now really quite big. But I think the biggest change is that it has altered how he holds himself. He's not relaxed anymore. He was always very kind of open. Now he's like holds himself quite rigidly, and there's a little bit more of the I don't really know how to move my body kind of stuff.
Is it like who's the rock guy from Fantastic Four? The one that's always like just a little bit
yeah.
awkward in
The
his own like
Yeah, it's whereas previously he was very, very comfortable with being this sort of massive figure. Now he's kind of bolstered beyond even that.
Yeah.
I also think that he's probably a little stretched. He probably needs a feed to get more comfortable because now he's
Yeah, hell yeah. It's not uniform either. Like it's I think under the shirt and stuff, it's disguisable because, like you said, you didn't go too poorly on the appearance roll. But yeah, there's like
Yeah, but
knots
there's,
of
like,
muscle
lumps
that have
and-
padded on. I think the neck's swollen a little bit. Just sheer size hasn't gorged. And yeah, as you stride through past the other two and head towards the thing to assist Carter in opening it, Dr. Sam and Minnie. I imagine, Minnie, you sort of like the back of your shirt's like rolled down, and Sam, you like open up your bag of like, so what do you think is the, I guess I kind of passed, it's going to be a medicine roll, I think, to plug into everything. Sam, what does this look like, knowing that you kind of have to, scalpel it open, actually, I kind of passed it to you.
So
Done
my
this
initial thought
before.
was like, well, this looks hairy. So here's what I can do to minimize the amount of pain and damage and, make it as safe as possible. And then Carter's like, 90 seconds, bite. I was like, oh,
Nope.
okay.
Too bad. I think
All I can do is
I think
jam it
Minnie
in.
would kind of take off her belt and like bite down on it.
But do
Yeah.
you want to take a big
And just
glug
brace
of,
herself.
do you have your whiskey?
Oh yeah,
you take a
definitely. There's a
big
big slug
slug?
of whiskey.
Yeah, hell
the
yeah.
rest of it. It's the rest of it, which is not going to be heaps because I've been, going at it. But like a big slug of it. Toss the flask.
Bite down on the belt.
Bite down on the belt and.
And Sam,
Yes.
from your perspective, you open the bag of things, and then with Minnie face on the ground, you like, actually, because she needs to get the height up because the thing will not
I'm
lower.
standing.
You are, I guess, standing down, almost like squatting down. Sam puts a elbow into your back, levels the needle. You can feel it reacting slightly at the furthest point as they sort of feel out. And then as you reach across to the back of Minnie's neck, the tendrils begin to spread out a little bit. And Minnie, you can feel it for a moment, like a spider finding its way along your spine. And as it finds two of the grooves, nubs between the whatever the hell they're called in the spinal column, Sam feels resistance,
Vertebrae.
reaches back, and jams it in. Sam, make a medicine roll, please. And this is very much going to scale.
Can this have a bonus dice because I'm like I've prepared myself and I'm stealing myself for it and
You preparing yourself is going to help for what comes.
okay.
I probably would have made time for just like a quick splash of disinfectant on this thing because it did just come out of another
Yeah,
set.
look.
I think that's fair. Make sure
I hope
don't
that's
push
all right.
anything in.
We're at germ theory now. That's fine.
Like I know I don't have
Actually,
any.
no. Do you know what?
It's the
I reckon I
alcohol.
took a swig of the whiskey, handed it back to you.
That'd be such a cool scene of just
Whole
take a
area.
swig and then just pour it down the back of your neck.
My neck, yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got luck, fucking burn it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, this is the luck burning stage.
Good.
Oh,
4
good.
points of luck.
Okay.
Will get you to a regular. 40
do it
points
hard.
of luck.
Do you have
for a
40 points?
hard. That'll bring me under 30.
The
They
alternative.
did say this will scale.
This will scale. The alternative, Jackson, is push it.
Don't.
And
not
you
fucking push this
take your
roll.
hand
Tell me
out,
that.
wrap it around Minnie's front, and heave her up into it to jam it down as quickly
can't spend
and
luck
violently
No.
as
If
possible.
you do that.
That would be utterly absurd, Dave.
What would the consequences be to me or him?
You.
Okay, I mean I'm happy with consequences for me, but not
No.
the
This
action,
is
but not the
this is
action result.
We
not
really
the
don't
interface
spinal
result.
surgery.
We also
No, but what I
really
mean is-
don't want to make this, whatever's coming next, we don't
Yeah.
want this to be harder for you. If anything, we want
No,
this to
but
be
what I mean
easier
is-
for you because
yeah,
it's about to
yeah.
be very bad. And also,
The action, I want the action to succeed. I don't really care what happens to Minnie as much. I'm okay with consequences to Minnie.
I'm taking
but the
pushing off
action
the
needs to succeed.
table. I'm taking pushing off the table. The question is
Okay.
4 points for a regular or 40 points for a hard and possible death for your only doctor.
you're not
I'm-
gonna die. We're
I'm-
gonna get you out.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that changes everything. Yes, I better get. Dave, this hard better be worth 40 points. Is it worth 40 points?
I tell you what, I will tell you now.
All right.
On a success, the preliminary interface, Minnie will have the option to basically, there is a chance of continuing forward as Minnie basically is plugged in, and we will see what happens from there. And Minnie will take a D10 of damage as the needle plunges into her spine. On a
Ooh, I
hard, she will halve that.
That would be
Well,
helpful
that's
as
it?
I've got
It's just
14
damage?
hit points.
This is the needle going in. That's right.
Right.
You've got 14
On
hit
an
points.
extreme, it'd be
I've
no
got
damage
14.
and some bonus on interfacing.
Oh,
But
so
I don't think
that's the
I
only
don't think-
difference.
Yeah, it's damage.
No, extreme's not happening. Okay. All right.
But,
so
well,
a
if you're
D10
going
or
to
D10
survive
half.
this, I mean,
If I'm
we're
gonna survive it
about
either
to
way.
leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it.
All right,
Take
then
the
I
damage?
leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do the damage, and then
Yeah.
I can do first aid again.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
get the chance.
All right.
So good. 4 points of luck, regular success.
As Hubert shoulders past, and you can see you for a moment out of the corner of your eye. It's like a shark moving in water. You can't get it out of your peripheral as he moves past, and you're aware of the previous thing. The needle finds the groove, and then grinding against bone, plunges into Minnie's spine as you push slowly and
Yeesh.
steadily. And on the inside, Minnie, you can feel the tendrils forging their way through as they find their way along the nerve center, and then begin to clasp onto things. Go ahead and take the D10 of damage.
You can roll this one for me, Sam.
Oh, heck off. Don't make me do
mean.
that. All right, here it comes. 6.
Thank you.
Are you all right, Minnie?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
14. I had 14. I mean, I don't know more.
Minnie lets out a scream that is only in her mind as she
Yeah.
falls limp and prone against the thing, and inside something is happening. Hubert,
Yeah,
do you
bet.
want to go and join Carter and give us a strength roll?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, fantastic. Strength roll coming up. I also think that once we're done this, we should try and see if we can pull one of those cables so it spools and carry Minnie still connected to the machine as deep as we can. But for now,
Hell yeah.
You want the power supply.
true.
Yeah. So lovely.
Hubert, where
Nice.
Carter got the edges and began to lift, I imagine yours just drive an elbow down, she'll break the whole thing in half and just throw the pieces to the side, revealing the dark chasm beneath. What the two of you are looking at is a second room underneath the first, chrome exterior and raised mesh flooring that then would continue further down as something cooling is pumping up from underneath. And all on the interior, you can see dozens, 50 plus of these silver steel canisters about yay big, and all of them are plugged in with smaller cables into a larger network in the center that then runs up towards the surface. In theory, you were sent to get one. There's over 50 here.
If I may, continuing our wordless cooperation that time has practiced, I will whip out the rope that we were using before. I will hand one end to Carter, and I'll position myself in my standard brace so that I can haul them back up out and let them jump in and grab as many canisters as they feel is appropriate.
Okay.
I will rappel into this room, counting in my head 85, 84, 83,
Hell yes.
82, 81, and I am, as someone who's military precision, I am good at time. Art is terrible at time. Carter is good. That is the thing. So, I am counting down that time, the 90 seconds, assuming, I say 90. It's whatever the vibe of the room currently is. If it was going to be like, this is going down now to be 30 seconds, like whatever makes narrative sense. There is a period of time that the counting will happen, and narratively, because we're in pulp and we're playing a movie and not real life, narrative importance.
Rules so hard. As you slide down and drop into the facility, you can see a number of these containers moved around. Some of them have like dust or rubble. Some of them look like they've been bent and dinged up at points, but all of them are cabled into the center network and then run up to the front. In theory, this is what Mini is interfacing with. Do you begin to sever connections and grab a couple of these, or are you waiting?
I am waiting, and I am, because of the time, I will at some point yell up to Sam, probably closer to like the 30 second, like minute 30 second mark, being like, how are we going? What's going on? But I am essentially primed to rip one of these things out and just leg it. We only need one. We only have time to get one if I'm trying to give Minnie as much time as possible to do what she needs to do. So that's the plan.
We may not need all of them to power. If there's a bunch of them, taking one out might be okay.
That's a chance, but it's not exactly a chance I'm willing to take until
the last
unless there's a way that I can ascertain whether taking one out is going to ruin the machinery.
It's a bit
Carter
of a
is just like, I could take one out and it could kill the whole thing, and Minnie would be stuck in there.
Yeah.
I want Minnie out, ideally, before I rip this out. If that doesn't work, I'm hoping ripping one of these out will shunt her out of the
Worst comes to the worst, we carry a bunch of them with us with her plugged in. I still think there's something to be said for the carrying the hacker through the scene, while they do battle in cyberspace.
If taking one of these out kills the entire machine, we can't take Minnie anyway because she's going to be. That's what I'm waiting for. Okay. So no, I'm not starting to unplug. I am priming myself to like rip one out and book it. Essentially, like it is I'm trying to analyze the best way to do that so that I'm not like potentially damaging something. Like if it needs to be like I got my bayonet and I'm just literally waiting there to be like cable sliced to let's go.
Right click, safely eject hardware.
Yeah.
Okay. Minnie, as the needle finds your spine and plunges in, you feel possibly the most pain you've experienced in your life as it floods your nerve system with white hot agony. And as you let out a scream, it suddenly cut off as if you throw yourself forward to the ground and then tumble over through empty space and into an ocean where you splash down inside it and begin to just fall around, unaware of where you are, bubbles rising up from you, no real sense of self, and just a abyss all around you. As you take a moment, you suddenly haul yourself up and then with a gasp pull yourself into the surface. None of this is visible, there's nothing to see, but it's a feeling of being surrounded, lost and isolated. And then you start to hear whispers on the edge of your consciousness that are getting closer, louder, drilling into your mind and layering over themselves in all manner of tongue. There's every recognizable human language, and then there's a number more. You can catch a hint of Narcal underneath all of it. Others which are strange sort of like yips and purrs that flood your senses. And then suddenly there's a feeling of something just behind you, and in Narcal you hear
You should not be here. You're ruining good work.
At this point, I'd like to ask you to make a power roll.
Ooh.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
You begin to coalesce it around yourself, visualizing your own space, reminding you of where you are and what you are inside. You can feel yourself branching out, but for the moment, you just pull it all back in, focus on yourself and sort of form. You're inside a network. You're inside a computer with a number of other connected consciousness driven together to fuel a massive, complex computing machine. What you are hearing is the voice of a dead ghost. One of the serpent persons, the one that you wounded and then was finished off, their consciousness, a portion of it is still here on the surface of the machine, almost functioning as a protector. The rest is deeper down, and you'd need to plunge to get to it. What do? Do you sort of stop here? There's no visual sense, although you can almost picture the thing forming around you, and it's continuing to whisper and hiss in your ear.
I am disregarding the annoying woman who keeps talking and monologuing. I am going to, what I would like to do is put this thing back to sleep. Thank you very much. I do not want it to wake up. I do not want it to break through and whatever it is doing. I would like it to go the fuck to sleep.
There's no like visual computational things earning at this point. You can't see any interfaces or anything, but you can hear voices swirling all around you. And with a successful power roll, you begin to be able to isolate some of them, and you can approach. After a while, you're sort of focusing in, you've locked in your own consciousness, you've begun to push away the feeling of that serpent person, and you're honing in on something that's the most familiar to you that you can think of. Eventually, you get a sense, it's almost like seeing a silhouette or someone standing in a doorway with light casting through them. It's of a older looking man with like a yellow fisherman's hat, a thick wiry beard, and as he reaches out to you, he begins to speak in rapid Icelandic for a moment, and then seeing nothing, he swaps to Danish and then finally to English. He says, "Where am I? What is this?"
You're being used. You're being used, and whatever it's doing to you is waking you up. And if you wake up, you're going to hurt so many people. Knowing where we were going and how myths and legends feed into this, and given that Minnie's theology degree is in basically mythology, she would know the story of the trolls and the history of the region as told by locals for millennia, the oral history of the region. And I wonder if Minnie could not perhaps start telling this man's story back to him in a way to almost like bedtime story and back to sleep.
Yes, I love that. Give me an occult roll. Actually, no, I don't. You have the knowledge. That's a given, and I really love the idea. I would say this is probably charm, as you try and sedate, you try and push your consciousness, you try and just bring them some peace, and you can take a bonus dice on it.
Okay, I'm not great at charm.
And suddenly we're playing RuneQuest. I feel.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nope. Hey, exactly what I need. I'll tell you what too. Yep.
Tell us what.
Someone with better math than me. What would it take to get it to a hard?
24.
24, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm gonna luck it to a hard.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that we can. That definitely scales. So, as you're reaching out to this figure, panic has lost its alone. This individual, you get the sense is not necessarily the sleeper. It's not the one that's threatening to wake, but it is one of many consciousnesses that have been stolen by some arcane race so that they can fuel an alien machine. And through that, it has been plugged into this huge system that has existed for millennia, since long before Iceland as a region was recognized by humanity and has monitored it. Now, this individual you found is a newer member to the collective, basically the second only to you, recently plugged in to add to the power, and through it you're able to sort of interface with others. You get the sense
I think I'd like to get everybody telling the story to put this thing back to sleep then. If this is not the creature that is being used, then I think I would just like to get everybody on the same page through the network. And
you begin to sort of like spread out, and now standing, it almost feels like you are on a, standing in like knee-high water that stretches up towards infinity, and all around it there's no doors, but there's silhouettes standing in them all the same, and they take different shapes and sizes. You can see a lot of humanoid figures, but there's also many that are completely unrecognizable, strange insect-like creatures, a number of what appear to be Vormi or similar, and yet more serpent persons themselves. And standing in the center, as if like addressing an arena of folks, you tell them the story of these trolls and the risk of what will happen if this creature wakes. You're able to appeal to the humanity of those that are human, and then through those, you push your own sense of will to begin to like flood through the sense of sleep, the sense of calm, the sense of returning to dormancy and rest once more. One by one, they begin to lie down in the sort of 6-inch water, curl over into a fetal position, and with liquid lapping at their silhouetted frame, they breathe deep and rest. 1, 2, 3, they drop until there's only 2 still standing. One is the fisherman, who's looking at you, and in broken English, he's the newest. He's not used to this. He still doesn't understand what happened, and he's still panicking. The second is the ghost, almost, of the serpent person that you shot once and then collapsed, sending its consciousness partially into this space and locking it. That one doesn't look like a silhouette. It looks ragged, and, there's portions of it that waste away, and as it's in the water, with every lapping, sections of it get cast away, and you can almost picture the scales filtering out towards an invisible sea. It is hostile, and it wants revenge, and every time you sort of try and direct calm towards it, it lets out like a scream of, no, you're ruining the work, and it lunges forward, but it's sort of held in place. The other one, the man just says, I don't want to be here. Take me back with you. If you can go to the surface, take me back with you. I want to see my children again.
I'll try.
And he steps forward away, and it's almost as if he's walking through the doorway, and as he gets closer, the light behind it is harder to make out, and he comes sort of like blurry and faded, and then he gets towards you, and he wraps his arms around you, and he's big.
I'll take his arm.
You get the impression he is trying to flood into your mind. That is the exit point. That is where this goes. And he, now that he gets a taste of it, just the sense of smell of reality, once you get real senses, this fake shit doesn't mean nothing. And he begins to try and push his way up into your mind to basically parasite passenger with it. Can you give me a power roll? And I'm going to contest this with a roll of my own.
You should have saved my luck.
Oh, God. You said he was a fisherman, not a fishing as in fishing scam. Who wants your identity, man?
Oh, no.
Fishing with a PH.
I'm just putting up a generic sheet. So he has a base.
If we've got a moment's pause, I'll ask, Dave, I apologize if you clarified this already. It seemed like there might have been similar numbers to the stone statues we saw dotted out throughout the facility.
There's probably more than just that, and it's not all human, but yes, a number of them possibly have come from there.
Have a question.
Yeah.
While this is happening.
Okay.
As each of these things lies down and goes to sleep, do those canisters dim?
Yeah, for sure. Down below.
So there's just one canister left glowing?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a good thought.
Good.
It's a very good thought. It is going to be hard. It's going to be, make a spot hidden roll. It's going to be hard to begin to just kind of get a sense for it and scaling from there, but go ahead and roll.
Or would it be spot hidden and then occult, maybe? Like figure out the connection?
I think spot hidden will get us started at least.
My intelligence is 90.
True.
But you just don't, this is so alien.
It's not. That is a success. How
You can
much
see
would I need? I would
something's
need
happening.
20 points.
Minnie is interfacing in some way, and even a hard, you're just going to have a sense of it. I don't know that I'll encourage you to. Well, you might be able to identify it later, but at the moment, with no context of what's happening inside, it's very hard to know.
That's fair. More my interest, like whether I understand that or not, I'm watching these canisters
You can see
dim,
the power
yeah?
down. It looks as though there's been some effect. Yeah, that's right.
The Minnie's doing something.
As far as like this works, if you'll allow, I am going to focus on the ones that are still online because that means the machine's working. So for me, logically, it would make sense that if I'm going to rip one of these out, it will be one that is glowing because that to me means off.
It's working.
Like everything else is powering down. Whether that means I rip out Minnie, I rip out the ghost, I don't know what's going on in Carter's like existence. It's like everything's turning off, but there are still some that are on.
Mm-hmm.
And the on ones are the things I need to pull out to turn it off. And off is what I wanted. Off was my goal. Off was like, you have 90 seconds and then I'm ripping you out of this thing by turning this machine off. I assumed there'd be like one canister that was going to do it, but it looks like there's multiple.
I'm with you.
So is that an okay thing?
100%. You're
Without
tracking the ones that are beginning to shut down.
metagaming.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're following what's beginning to shut down, and it's not a given because a lot of it's been damaged and is reshaped, and some are still like harpling in, but you are beginning to track the now dominant. You can see the effect, and you are tracking the ones that still seem to be active in any way so that you can destroy them. I think that's totally fair. Okay. All right.
Also, there's a chance that I will rip one out and destroy the others. I will shoot any that are still on. I will rip one out, and any others will get shot because I want this machine off.
Hell yeah.
So that's my like little risk thing. There you go. That's my I don't understand what's going on, so there's a chance I will shoot something important.
I dig it. Okay. Minnie, the body surrounds you, and soon it's no longer a hug. It's actually something that's trying to become one with you and steal your exit as it tries to just any sense of smell or taste it wants to see again, if only for a little while, and it floods towards you. At the same time, the other one, the ghost, the sort of crackling remnant of a serpent person, takes a few steps forward as it sees an opportunity and moves to do the same. But first, a straight roll. You have the higher power, so if it ties, you will take this.
I succeeded, but good. Thank you.
Only
Good.
success. You can begin to feel it, and you can push it back. How do you respond? You can. It's desperation now from this creature, this person.
I think I'm just gonna say, you should sleep
Sort of push him back,
because that's what I've been doing.
And he looks down and he goes.
And whether or not he can resist that, because
You can see tiredness beginning to overtake him, but he says, "The others that have been here. It's been millennia. If I sleep, will I wake?"
I don't know.
He sort of squats down in the water and begins to hum, probably like a children's nursery rhyme or something. And he says, under his breath, you can only just hear it, "If I wake again, I'll find you. I love you both. I hope you're okay." And then he leans over and begins to go to sleep. Yeah.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
Oh, good one.
And he collapses. Everything is slumbering, with the exception of the one last frayed ghost. This thing is a fraction of a fraction. You are pretty confident if you cast your hand out, you can send this thing roiling into the abyss and gone forever.
Oh, yeah.
The alternative is, this thing is a fraction.
Yeah.
And with it will be a fraction of its knowledge. You could take it in.
Oh, yeah.
Trust that you will continue to be able to power. This is basically transporting an alien consciousness into your mind and trusting in your own willpower to keep it tame.
Oh, yeah. No, this is bad, and I have failed so many narco rolls in this particular chapter that I'm taking the risk. I'm just like, this can't go on And I feel like the end of this fisherman and not knowing if he's going to wake up and what I've had to do has probably shaken Minnie quite a lot. And she's like, there is no more. We're not fucking around anymore. It's time to take some bigger risks.
Okay. So you're going to draw him inwards?
Mm-hmm. Basically beat him into submission mentally as well. Like shut it.
I am going to
shut it and get in the car.
I am going to ask you to make another power roll. Actually, there's been a few, but I'm not going to contest this one. This is just going to be seeing the level to which you have the control. Even as failure will probably bring it inwards, and will probably be longer reaching consequences than today.
Great.
Pretty cool if you fumble this, Minnie.
The thing sees the fisherman, and it's stalking on the edges. It seems not to be able to get too close to you because of just basically kind of the light of your own consciousness, and you're still being a real body. And then as it paces around, you can see that there's tendrils from it, fraying shadows that begin to get sort of sucked in towards you. It lets out a howl, lunges forward, splashing on all fours, barely human, mostly just lizard-like on the ground. And as it leaps towards you, Minnie, what does it look like when you fully absorb something else into your own? Is it just a huge Kirby mouth as you suck it inwards? Is it reaching out and just crunching it into nothing and then folding it into the palm of your hand?
Minnie watches him sprint towards her, and then at the last second she turns her back on him, and kind of just knowing that there's the thing in her neck at the moment as well, just turns her back on him. So it is both a dismissal and a welcome.
Fuck yes. It launches across towards you, and for a moment you see a cool wash through you, and then as you sort of snap your head back, the whole place illuminates for just a moment, and then you can begin to feel your consciousness raising once more as you pull yourself out from it. The last thing that happens as you're sort of pulling away and you see all the sleeping figures and moving away is as you rise up, getting more context on the whole thing, you can almost picture these 50, 60 or so sleeping figures mapped out and dotted into the shape of a single, much larger, slumbering thing that rests beneath the peninsula. And then as you snap back awake on the surface, Carter, you are just getting down, you're going 5, 4, and then the shaking for a moment at least stops. As you get towards 2 seconds, Minnie, your eyes snap open and you're taking a breath of fresh air.
Get it out, 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 get it out.
Does the final canister that I was standing over go dark?
Yeah, they all begin to go to sleep, that's right.
Great. The last one that dims and goes out, because I was counting down, that will be the one that I rip out.
Okay. You reach out, grab untwist the top of it and rip the cable from it. It comes out wet, and similar to what went into to Minnie, there's wet tendrils on the other side that kind of around, and you drop it through. Definitely something organic on the other side of it, but the hole that it was formed instantly just seals shut, and you have a large steel canister. It's cool to the touch.
Great. I will say, somewhat mimicking Minnie, but in less panicked tones. Mr. Smith, get me out.
Yep.
You're pulled up and onto the surface.
Get it out. Get it out, get it out, get it out. Sam, get it out.
Once again, magician's handkerchief.
Yep.
Pull it out.
Sam, I am going to ask you to make a medicine roll just for taking this out
fair.
once more. I take a bonus dice though because it's easier than the end. Just this is impromptu.
Easier out than in.
It is, yeah.
You pull it out, then you trip over and stab it into me again.
Yeah, just gonna sap my luck away. 9
You've
points.
got a bonus.
Bonus dice.
Oh, sorry, bonus die. I missed
Bonus
that.
dice.
Great. Oh,
It's gonna be basically D10 halved already, just on the failure. It's up to you, Minnie, if you want to risk it, or if Sam, you want to spend the luck.
9 points of luck. I can handle that.
Okay, all right. No damage then, Minnie, as Sam was primed for it and is able to twist it and remove the needle, drop it to the side, and Minnie collapses on the other side, drained and exhausted. But for the moment,
I probably vomit.
The facility appears to have quietened. The volcano, for now, dormant.
Did we do it? Did we save Iceland?
Is the drilling still happening?
You can head towards them. They're not far from here.
I mean, that's our exit because Hubert broke the bridge.
Yes, we'll head towards the
lava exploding volcano broke the bridge. I was incidental.
Yeah.
Very good. Mr. Smith, could you carry Miss Sinclair? Sam, on me. Let's go and see if let's find our way out of here.
No, I'm good. I can walk.
You sure?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, Miss Sinclair, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm just
stumbling forward. Stumbling forward, you make your way back up this corridor through a small, basically, by room, and then across towards the drilling rigs. They are still continuing to go. And Minnie, through just basically you're not quite sure where the memory comes from now, but you are more aware of the facility and the mapping. It's like you were working here for a while. It's weird. Yeah. You believe that you have slowed it. You have sent the slumberer back to sleep. The volcano itself is past the point of stopping, unfortunately. It will erupt, but fortunately steps have already been taken. What you are aware of, though, just basically as an intelligent person, is if the slumberer had fully twisted, it would have arrested the entire peninsula free of the crust and caused, not only would it have destroyed that, it would have sent tsunamis across the ocean, devastating. That much has at least been presented, but the volcano will probably still erupt in a matter of time, although it is no longer being propelled from within. You only have a matter of time before this facility is destroyed. The drilling is still continuing on. It appears to be carved down in, and it is these ones that you are here at first are the ones that were engorging the tick bags. Which are the same ones that made Hubert really big.
Yeah, look, maybe let's just get past them a little quietly, right? That stuff is potent, and I don't want to go up against a bunch of... This is probably the Vormi that threw a rock at us. It's probably one of them that chowed down too much of this stuff.
Our mission here was to get as much information as possible. This stuff is information. Sam, please take some back for sampling purposes. We still have the goop from the spa. We want to study this because this could be rather helpful.
I'm inclined to agree. Not just helpful for Caduceus, but helpful for us against Caduceus.
I think I'll have a sample of it at this stage as well.
Yes, well, I don't think they need to know that.
More the merrier.
With Carter holding the canister and Sam stopping to disconnect a couple of the organic bags and continue on your way, another shake goes through, and now you can smell the scent of ash in the air.
Going up, by the way.
Oh yes, we're making our way swiftly out of here.
Well past the point of that.
Maybe we should just try and get back across that gap. We've got all this cabling.
The way you're going is up through. Hang on, I'll just show you.
We're going up and around.
We've explored enough of the facility that we're pretty confident this is going to be sound.
You've got a way out by traveling in.
We literally have down those stairs and to the left,
I had misunderstood that the one basically we were going to have to go past the drilling room with a bunch of juiced up Vormi in it. I am fine to leave.
So as you get towards one of the corners, you can see the landing bay on the other side that you can open up. There's another shake that goes to the whole facility. The smell of ash beginning to fill the air as this thing threatens eruption. You maybe have a beat. Is there anything else you'd like to do? There were some corridors untested. There were the hot tubs of goop. There were a couple of petrified figures left of stone.
We have a sample of the stuff that was in the baths. I know that we specifically said there's a canister of that stuff, which is separate to the tick bags, because that's the growth serum versus the healing serum. Everything technological in here appears to be mentally powered. It's not like they've got, scrolls or pieces of information we can take with us from what we can gather.
That's true.
If we have a beat to kick open some doors to see if there are any artifacts, sure. If we have a beat.
You do not necessarily have it. You would be getting the beat. You would be risking it by doubling back and checking a couple of places, saying, we've got a moment, I'm going to go and check corridors. It's the last chance we're going to get. You would very much be running up against the clock if you do anything.
That's not,
I would like to, if we can, while we're walking back, if we pass by any of the petrified people, could I keep an eye out? I'm specifically looking for anybody who shares a familial resemblance to our pilots.
I think that it's quite possible that her brother is here, and if we can take that statue out, maybe we can find a way to cure them later.
You need to go back into the chamber and study them. There are there's about a dozen in there. You need to go across them, and then you're looking for family resemblance in stone of someone you met briefly and in the dark on a plane. It's possible.
There's no time. Okay, let's get out.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
We saved a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right.
But we could have saved one more.
You race along the corridor, round it, and charge into the landing bay. By this point, there's a couple, there's clearly some automatic systems that are still going, so there's the occasional, whoop, whoop, of a very human alarm. You're pretty sure they stole that from us. We invented that one, and they copied it. They went, we should have had one of these before.
They went, this is a good one.
There's just smoke detectors in some points.
That is a deeply annoying sound. Let's use it.
You'll charge into the room and take stock of the spheres present. There's the one that you landed in, and there was another one or two at least. And then there's a bunch that are previously locked that are dusted and haven't been checked further. There's also still the rope dangling down. And I will note, you noticed previously that one of the spheres was missing. It has still not returned. So there is still presumably a sphere somewhere else, although it might have seen the volcano erupting and decided, fuck that.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
Hubert, you will not fit with anyone else.
Minnie, you're practically an expert pilot at these things. Do you want to get inside one of the locked ones and see if you can finagle it out while the rest of us pile into the two active ones?
Is anyone sharing?
Well, I think
I don't know. I don't know that I want, I almost would rather shimmy up the rope and get back to Sam's flying machine, because that was the implication. But do we not?
That's going to be
bring it
real
close.
tight.
It's a bit of a walk.
Okay.
I think the two of you should share, and then you can drop Sam back off at the flying machine, and he can toggle out.
Or the two of you can head out that way.
Okay.
And I can kind of, I guess, guide Hubert, who hasn't, because Sam's been in one before.
I have, 60 power. We'll see how we go.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Sam.
At the very least, if you crash it, Hubert, and you have to go on foot, you are the one who's surviving a volcano eruption.
He's done it before. He'll do it again. Okay. So Sam and Carter with the canister in tow, so chuck the canister in, and you guys head towards the one that is still half open from bisecting one of the serpent persons.
That
I think
one's
the body
gross.
was ruined. It's pretty grotty, but it's the one you're the most familiar with. And working on horse logic, it might recognize you. And Sam puts a hand out and will attempt to interface with it. Sam, I need a power roll from you.
When are you going to have it?
Die in dissecting.
Nice.
As Carter gets to the other side, and Carter looks around and goes so how does this thing work? The thing snaps shut and rockets up. It's jumpy. But you have it under control.
Right.
Same for me, I assume.
Okay. Minnie goes over to one of the unopened ones, just puts a hand against it, and after you're able to sort of get your consciousness across to it, it snaps open once more, and you can tumble yourself into it. Once you've got the sense of these as well, it's kind of familiar. And Minnie, you've spent a while conscious interfacing with different things. This one's much more manageable by comparison. There's less threat.
I bet.
And as it, actually, Minnie, you've kind of got enough mastery of it that you can sense hover still half open as you watch Hubert head over to the final one and try and get himself inside. Hubert, can you please give me a power roll?
Coming up. That is a success. Will a hard be better?
No, it's a success. You've got it. The team, and one by one, and under Minnie's direction, you put a hand down. It feels weird, sort of pushing out to it. But actually, Hubert, it is interesting. Dr. Sam pilots things a lot, and Hubert, you have a very high ride score. It's a little bit like just treat it like a horse as you push your hand down.
Absolutely.
Calm it, and then think. Snaps open. When you get inside it, you are like the largest hamster in a hamster ball. And as the thing closes, it juts into shoulders and things, and you have to square yourself. And only when it's closed can you take a breath in, and then even then you can't fully stretch out. You are encompassing the entire thing.
Maybe that's good though. I think everyone else is standing and I get in and I curl up and I sit down and I'm like, yeah, this is great.
This is fine.
Okay. Or it's mech suit style. I'm like,
hell yeah. Cross-legged at the center. With I presume Sam taking point, the first of the 3 orbs like swirls around the interior, taking a final look, and then pops out the chimney, racing up and then erupting into the sky as you spiral higher towards the clouds. Sam and Carter, this is the first time you've done the full speed, and the whole thing like presses you against the interior. Your legs brace as your knees lock against the G's, and you punch straight through cloud cover, unable to slow yourself in time before sort of swinging about, the whole thing twisting, your legs actually swinging up and around, then rocketing back down. Is the intent to try and get towards the flying machine? Because as you're closing back down towards cloud cover, you see Minnie pop out, Hubert pop out. There is smoke billowing out from it now as Ash goes, and you actually begin to see a small river of lava going down one side as then it begins.
I think it's not all of us are going to fit in the flying machine, so I think it's Sam and Carter to the flying machine, Hubert and Minnie to a vehicle, because you don't want to roll into town in one of these things.
Well, this thing is, it depends where you want to go, but you also might want to hold on to some of these things to use in future.
I reckon we drop Sam off, and then if we can all have planes.
I mean, I can try and see if I can interface with the one that Sam's currently flying, so that we all have something. But if it doesn't work, then I can get in Sam's plane.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, we keep it and try and come in stealthily then. And
yeah.
Right,
Can we stash them somewhere for later use if need be?
Well, the whole thing's about to erupt, so you'll have to put it somewhere a little bit distant. It also depends on if you're trying to go to the more like the major airstrip, or just going towards the south, like one of the southern villages, which are abandoned, but you know there to be an airstrip where you might be able to functionally steal a plane and take off.
Yeah, see if we can steal a cargo plane.
Yeah. Okay, so
let's do that. Abandoned village cargo plane.
So first of all, Minnie and Hubert spiral across through the clouds, heading in that direction, as Carter and Sam slow their descent, locate the flying machine, and drop down. The sphere opens, and you can see smoke rolling down. Lava begins to swallow it. Trees are cracking. The ground shifts, and the whole thing drops down. If I recall, when you landed it, you put it on a road. So you do have some. Actually, you hit it off the road, so it will take a while to unhoist it, get everything leveled, and take off. Sam, this is going to be a hard piloting roll to get this to take off and basically outpace what is coming behind you. And this is fairly risky, because if you are doing this, once you're committed to attempting it, you're like, if Carter can get the interface with things, they might be able to like scoop you, but.
Yeah, well, I'm imagining it doesn't work out.
Can I be hovering nearby for backup, emergency backup?
Yeah, that's true.
I think you and I need to go steal a plane.
Actually, Carter, you could also pop in with Minnie now if you wanted.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was Minnie and Hubert should probably go steal a plane. Carter,
straight to the village, get our escape route sorted.
As much as I would love to have another one of these, we've got 2. If I assist Sam getting this plane up and going, can I give him a bonus for all of this?
You can.
Okay.
All right. In that case, we will abandon this extra one, because we've got 2, hopefully, and I don't know that a cargo plane will hold 3 of these things. So I will stay behind, because it's Sam. I'm not leaving Sam.
Yeah, it's Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
Okay.
So I will, as much as Art the player wants to know if Carter can fly one of these things, no. It's Sam. Sam is my significant person. Sam is the person I will help. Sam is the person I will get swallowed by lava with if everything goes to shit.
Okay.
One last option. Cargo plane. What about a boat? Maybe that's just simpler. Probably a lot of them left behind.
Something.
That's a good idea as well.
Boat is good too.
The only difference is we have a pilot.
Yeah, we
not
don't have anyone
captain.
who can do a
Hubert
boat.
had a very successful mission digging around on boats.
Yeah. After knowing exactly what Hubert can do with a boat, I think we stick with a plane.
Cargo plane, please and thank you.
All right. The sphere drops down, and Carter and Sam race towards the foliage to uncover the plane and haul it up towards the road. Minnie and Hubert hover nearby for a moment, and then begin to head off towards one of the ports or airstrips, somewhere where you can find a vehicle.
I'll hand the canister over to Minnie and say keep this safe, because we don't want to lose that on the off chance Sam and I get dead. So that will go with Minnie.
Okay. And with that, I need a hard piloting roll as smoke fills the air and the ground shakes beneath you.
You've got this, Sam.
You have a bonus dice.
Just finishing drawing it on the Roll20 map for my own amusement, just so I can keep track of Who's going where?
Oh, that's
All right,
very fun.
great. I'm satisfied.
Okay.
Pilot with bonus die. Here it comes.
Hard.
Yeah.
That's a crit. That's a crit.
Wow.
That's a
the
crit.
crit.
0-1.
That's
I
the
would-
crit.
We were waiting for after
So,
3 fumbles last
yeah.
session.
I feel particularly pleased that Ares was able to give their significant other a bonus crit dice.
As the other two head off towards the spheres, Sam, you're fully like you can't get it airborne soon, so you're driving along the runway as the ground cracks open, lava spurts out from sections, trees fall down, and ash covers the whole thing. Eventually, you lean back just enough to crest a falling tree, wind across. You know, a whole bunch of googling last time on like ash and how it messes with planes and everything. So you're accounting for that, and you're shaking the whole thing loose, completely focused in the zone, and just a master at his craft. You're able to pull it up high enough to outpace the spewing molten rock and then dive down towards the others, where they have traveled to one of the functionally abandoned villages in the area. As you touch down here, I will say you will notice yet again signs of resistance where people here have fought and been abducted or killed or something. There's no bodies, but it also, unfortunately, makes it convenient for taking a vehicle and getting the hell out. As you touch down, I see no reason, especially just the crit and the momentum of everything, with finding a larger plane or something that you can stow everything inside. Moving quickly, you roll the spheres up and into it, lock the whole thing closed, and then as Sam begins to go over to the controls and spin the whole thing up, you can take flight once more, fleeing Iceland. As now in one of the side windows and looking down, you can see just rock rolling down, swallowing sections of the forest. And although it looks severe, you can't help but think, especially Minnie, once you're high enough, of picturing a
so much worse.
huge sleeping figure underneath the surface, completely covering this side of the peninsula. And if it stirred, if it had actually tried to wake and wrestle itself free of the Earth's crust, waves would have devastated both sides of the ocean around it.
As it is, it's really just a baby cooing in its sleep.
Yeah.
You wheel around and can head home.
Then that's what we'll do.
Hell yeah. We got the artifact. We got other artifacts.
Ooh.
I'm stacked. And we're ready to get back to Caduceus. And we also got a bunch of useful information. I want to look into the third Serpent Empire, I think was it? I want to look into the rise of Mu, was it?
Yeah.
I
Lots
want
to
to find out more
do.
about my alien passenger.
About your buddy, your friend.
And I want to get into that chick on the screen's dreams.
just tormenting him, like,
Yeah, I just want to be not for any information gathering. I just want to be really annoying. I just want to get in there and like,
I'm back at
just
Serpent
monologue
High
at her.
School. Oh no, I've just shed my skin, kind of thing.
yeah. I just want to monologue at her.
I think if we're doing like intentions for when we get back to Caduceus.
Well, because one thing just before we look back to it, because everyone's got, because if you go back to New York, you get the impression you're going back to the thick of it. I don't know if anyone, Sam, you have like some more rule, but you might all go, hey, let's touch down
Let's go to
somewhere
Sam's.
else. We'll go back to Caduceus in a couple weeks. That will give you time to study some of the artifacts you found, heal
Ditch
fully,
some shit on Sam's farm.
rest, and then go back. Because genuinely, the state you left Caduceus in,
we're not.
you might be trying to make amends again, but you're pretty sure they're to some level twigged to your
This-
activity.
Oh yeah.
I
No, we're
don't
not
know
landing
if-
in New York.
I don't know if this is a thing or not, because my wealth level went up.
Yeah.
Many, many moons ago now, but it went from like okay to like comfortable to wealthy. And I don't know if that allows us to have sort of like somewhere. I mean, Sam's place is almost certainly the safest, but they know about it. But whether or not there is like a surreptitious, maybe I have come into a bit more money and have maybe like
We parked it
reinforced
somewhere for a rainy day. Yeah.
Or
Just
like
tell me what else
property,
we-
bought a really
Hubert's-
remote property,
Hubert
knowing that
stacked
you
his
didn't
shit. He probably
trust
owns like an
Cataseus.
island somewhere.
Yeah.
Or a super
Knowing
yacht.
you didn't trust Cataseus, bought something real remote that we can use. Yeah.
I
as a
basically think you guys are paranoid enough and rich enough at this point that this is you can have somewhere to retire. What I basically want to know is, do you want to go somewhere and chill for a couple of weeks and catch your breath with the chance that other things will be happening around, or do you want to be like, stuff it, we won't heal, we go straight back to New York and we will deal with what happens?
No, I think a little bit of chill is the way to go, and yeah, I might have some places.
Okay. I do not intend for Caduceus to get their hands on our alien spacecraft.
That's our alien spacecraft. Okay.
I wouldn't mind suggesting that maybe we give them one of them, and we've done some tinkering to it in the interim.
We give them what they asked for.
We do need to get back into their good graces, and Ares's plan is not really something that can start until we get back to New York, which is they are going to start seriously thinking about how infiltration of Caduceus as a full operation would work.
Yeah.
Which is something that they've already been considering.
Immediately.
We don't need to go there immediately, but it is something that like the plan will be coalescing in the weeks, and then it will be a like, all right, let's get some reconnaissance. Let's think about this. There's Caduceus has lied to us and has put us in difficult positions multiple times, and I'm not sure that I'm not sure we need to bring it all down, but I'm definitely keen to cut off its head.
Dave, do we have a time of year very quickly?
Yeah. I think it's like March.
It's March. Okay.
Maybe like April. Sorry. I think we began in like January. I remember saying. I don't super remember. I tried to figure this out the other day and then I couldn't.
In which case, can we say just in terms of locations, Hubert is a big survivalist and has been a massive charity guy.
Of course.
Through one of my, many shell company, whatever, inscrutables, could I own a summer camp that is currently empty?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And it can also have, this would be great, because for everything you do, they have like, for people like earning their first aid badge, like that's where Sam will be doing his medicine stuff with a bunch of like beginners, and it's all like safety scissors. And there is like a, there's a derby car track and a derby car, like for fixing up derby cars. That's where you're going to use to repair the plane.
It's the training facility, and it's straight up summer camp.
It's the ropes course.
Yeah.
For like ropes course for Ares, and then like just because they always need to be set up on big trees, so it's just like, all right, ropes course and then some target practice.
There's an archery thing that you're just going to evaporate with a pistol.
Just use it.
I think we've earned it. Honestly,
I think we've earned summer camp.
We've earned a little summer camp.
You'll all get. We're definitely doing rolls for badges next week. We're going to see what badges everyone can collect in the 2 weeks. All right. So as the plane chugs across the water, Sam makes a couple of keen adjustments and swings your bearing away from New York and across to the forest where Hubert's summer camp lies waiting for the next year of students. We will park the session there and we'll pick up with a few weeks of downtime and then plans for what comes next. Worry not, your opponents do not slumber, and they too will be taking actions. But maybe now with the knowledge you've learned, the artifacts you've pinched, and your suspicions at least somewhat confirmed, you can get yourselves onto the front foot and take the fight to them. We'll park it there. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you all for playing.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you,
Dave.
We'll see you in a week. Same time, same place. Catch you soon.
Maybe slightly different time in a week.